Yaramajondi, Yanting Yaramajondi, Yarbai Yaramajondi, Yama Fail of Yerku, Yanabat Loba, Yaramajondi, Bibi Yaramajondi, Yarabing Yaramajo, Yarabai Yaramajondi, Yarpo Yaramajondi, Yama Fail of Yerku, Yanabat Loba, Yaramajondi. Look to them, Jadir Bar, look to them, Jadir Bai. Look to them, Jadir Panda, Panda, look to them, Jadir Bai. Panda, 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 you know Panda, 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 you don't get it, Panda, Panda.
Go ahead and make a share.
Look to them, Jadir Panda, Panda, look to them, Jadir Bai. Panda, 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 you know Panda, 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 you don't get it, Panda, Panda. Habibi Yaramajondi, Yanting Yaramajondi, Yarbai Yaramajondi, Yaba Fail of Yerku, Yadabat Loba, Yaba Loba, Yaramajondi, Bibi Yaramajondi, Yanting Yaramajo, Yarabai Yaramajondi, Yarpo Yaramajondi, Yaba Fail of Yerku, Yadabat Loba, Yaba Loba, Yaramajondi.
Someone share it for me so I can make a share here. Actually, I came late because I'm having a hard time with the system. Go ahead and make a share so I can be able to share it as well. Share it, please. Guy, can you go ahead and make a share? Go ahead and share. I just need one for now.
Panda, 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 you know Panda, 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 you don't get it, Panda, Panda.
Good evening. Listen. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are, concerned citizen of South Sudan going live. It is Sunday, September 27, 2020. It is night here in Seattle. It is morning in Australia and noon in part of Australia, I believe so. So I welcome all of you, wherever you are. Remember, no spin zone. We agree to disagree. Tonight, as you can see, the topic of tonight: what is the role of women for bringing change to South Sudan, and also understanding the politics? Listen, the women of South Sudan are the majority when it comes to population, but unfortunately, they are not on the stage. Most of the time, it is a man dominant when it comes to politics. The men are the one that talk about the politics. Most of the time, we don't see a lot of women participating. And we have been calling for a very long time that actually you have the future, and you, daughter of today, and you, mother of tomorrow. Of course, we have daughters, and we want you to be part of a bigger picture in our country. The notion that women are on the back seat when it comes to issues, affecting our nation, is not okay. And that's why we are working hard, side by side, so women can get on the stage. They can speak because they are the most affected with the issue that happening in our country. One more time, we agree to disagree in our show, on our topic, in our show. Every time we come here live, this is so important to have a different perspective from a women perspective. And we have a lot of them all over the world, back home, here in America, in Australia, in Canada, in North Africa, in Egypt, of course, everywhere. Women of South Sudan are the one that paying the prices of the war, prices of no services in the country. They are the one carry everything on their heart, in their head. They are the one that delivering the baby that has suffered, the baby that are going to grow. They will be used in the war. So, my beloved sisters, it is a time for you to open your eyes, because all these issues are affecting you. So, let us have a conversation. Tonight, as you can see, our topic: what is the role of women for bringing change to South Sudan, and also understanding the politics. We have seen for a very long time, some people, they come and talk and talk and talk. Do they understand exactly what's going on in our country? or for just sake of talking? Do you want to be a good girl, as we call it all the time, good girls, good boys? Don't you see that it is enough for those Nyakumba and others who are just have been there for a very long time without raising a voice for a little girl who is suffering from lack of malnutrition, from diseases, and lack of education in our country? So tonight we will have a discussion with the women of South Sudan here. I have a very long list for the ladies to come and hear a perspective from them. I understand I should have started long time ago on the top of hour of 6, which is 6 in my time here, and 9 Eastern United States. But right now it looks like it's 10 p.m. in the Eastern United States, and I believe it is noon in Sydney, Australia. So the list is long. We're supposed to have here, and I believe so they will be here shortly. Achol Maduring also, she should be one of the speakers, and Pukjel Moror, Kaidi Dandara, and also Sister Arwal Kur supposed to be here as well, and many, many more. So please, if you are here, you may go ahead and click on the link, and we can go ahead and start the discussion. I'm not going to take more time, and like as usual, but before you arrive here to start this conversation, I want to give you figures. Last week I posted the figures. Ahlan bekum mujaddadan fi concern citizen of South Sudan. I want to show you the figures that actually the young South Sudanese are the most, interactive when it comes to these issues pertaining our country. Concerned citizen of South Sudan actually was able to get a graph, I would say, data of people who watch our, weekly forum, weekly episode, and actually the numbers are so stunning. I have seen that we have like 94,000 interacting with us from August 28 to September 26, which is good. 94 people, they were engaged in what we do, whether with a comment or watching a live video. That's the good news, that our people actually are interacting. And with this huge big number, it turned out actually majority of our people who are watching, they are back home in South Sudan, which is give me more encouraged that actually we should move to inconvenient time that will be accommodating them. So shortly we will find, a time that will work for those who are watching in South Sudan. Okay, and with that data, actually, it turned out our nearly 21% are watching in South Sudan, particularly 18% watching in Juba, and the rest in other part of the country. And when we categorize, or when BeLive actually calculated the data, because the data is calculated based on what as they have in the system, people are watching. This is not a human, data basis. It is a computerized. The computer is the one that doing this job. So it tend actually to be men who watch, who are interacting with the issue in South Sudan, is 82%. Men are 82%, and women are 17.8%. That's actually not good at all. Yeah, giving that the women are the majority of the population in the Republic of South Sudan, and you seeing them, they are not participating in a number that they are supposed to be participating. So only 17.8% from the women are the one that interacting, with what we do here in the social media, particularly with concerned citizens of South Sudan. So going down also with the age range, when we calculated, work with the age range, so 13 years old to 17 years old, actually 0%. That's something I don't know. Here in the United States, sometimes, 17 years old, they do talk. They do know who is the president. They do know what is affecting them. In our country, actually, more people, they supposed to be aware of what's going on. Given that there is no services in the country, and injustice, war, people supposed to be, more concerned, whether they are children or they are, younger adults. We went down also from age 18 to 24. Actually, it's better. You see there that 8.9% are interacting online, and some of them are reading, what we post, and some of them are watching. 9.8. That age ranges are 18 to 24%. From 24 to 34, uh, those are the most effective, one who are watching the live shows actually. 24, age 24 to age 34, 19% actually. 19.8%. These people, they watch very, and that's, it can tell you those are adults, young adult from 24 to 34. It is good. It might sound weird to you. These data are very important actually. The reason I'm reading the data to you, so we can find a better way of reaching out, to the people of South Sudan, because this change is not going to happen if we are not finding different methodology to reach people, to reach out to the people. Okay, so that's good. That's the good news. Actually, seeing that age 24 to 34, 19% of them are interacting or watching. From age 35 to 44, is only 12%, which is telling you that people in South Sudan, when you see somebody is in that category, they are start, becoming more reluctant because of lack of resources, and someone have the more children, and they feel like, well, we just go with it, whatever happening, which is not okay at all. So that's the group that I would like to encourage actually, because I kind of fall between this group, okay, from 35 to 44. That's our age group, and they should be more active, and they should work hard on change, other than just letting the 24 to 34, in that thing. On 45 to 55, those are just only 4%, and 55 to 65 are 0.1%. So these are kind of, data that we have, and I hope so. My guests are here. I know sometimes, when we conduct women's show, it appear some of them are more reluctant. They don't want to appear unless they see their sisters are come forward. كل زول بيقول no, 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 it's not my turn. I'm gonna, help back a little bit عشان أنا أشوف فلان فلان وأشوف ناس فلان فلان are there. Don't do that. If you are available, please go ahead and click on the link. So the link should bring you here, and then we can answer this bigger question that we are asked today. What is the role of women? What role that women can play actually to bring about change in our beloved country, Republic of South Sudan? I do see there my sister Arwal. Thank you for your gracious, and you are right here. Let me go ahead and bring you, Arwal. Welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. I apologize. We started late. We supposed to start a long time ago. I supposed to start actually 9 Eastern United States, but unfortunately the system was kind of giving me a little hard time. Until now, I did not even share it on John Cormayol page. I don't know, for some reason the technicality. So Arwal, أهلا بك. أنا أرحب بك أستاذ أروال في Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. أنا شايف دائما women أو النساء يعني بصفة عامة في جنوب السودان ما بيهبوا يعني مثلا to involve the issue الا لما يكون في قضيه بس يعني happen suddenly. لو في قضيه بتاعت women, something to do with women, something to do with domestic violence here in the West, in Canada, in America, in the United States, these are the issues that most of the time I see them talking. لكن الامهات السيدات they are the majority in the country. Okay, ديل اللي بيلدوا عيال اللي بيموتوا في الحرب، ديل هم they are suffering, لما يكون في اي مصيبه في البلد. هسه the وضع صحي في البلد، المجاعه الحاصل في البلد، كل انواع من المتاعب الحاصل في البلد، المراه هي التي تدفع الثمن. ف it is not good for them to be on the back seat. We want them actually to be in the stage to ask a tough question. Why this thing happening? Because any issues that women are involved, the issue are likely to be tackled. So lay something de kulu. Why and why and why? Is it because they want to be good girls like what we see and good boys? If that's the case, it is so disappointing. So Arwal Fadali, to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan, I leave the floor to you.
Okay. Thank you جونكور وبشكرك للإضافة.
نعم.
and then بشكر البيوس اللي هم قاعدين هنا بيتفرجوا. طبعا it's a good topic it's a good topic عشان نحن نتكلم فيه as a
Yeah.
female.
Yes.
طبعا انت عارف جون كورتا قعدت هناك في الجنوب ولا في السودان
Yes.
ولا في أفريقيا general.
Mm.
In Africa طبعا women don't have chance عشان هي تمارس حاجة اسمها سياسة.
Mm.
طبعا the reason اللي خلى المرأة عشان هي ما تكون part of politics. انت قلت هنا 17.8%. I think maybe mistaken or something, maybe ما كتبت كويس. But 17.8% is nothing.
Yeah.
When you compare that with the female يعني قول في أمريكا ولا في كندا أو أستراليا
No.
ولا تقول يعني الدول اللي فيه تعليم طبعا. we're not competing as a امرأة سودانية ولا جنوبية. We cannot compete with with those people.
Yes.
لأنه نحن طبعا الوضع اللي عندنا نحن امرأة جنوبية مثلا for example. The only thing نحن we are smart to do is to get married and have kids. So when we have kids we just take like خلاص المخنا ده دخلوها في شنو انت يزوجوك وتقعد في بيت تربي عيال تكون الام وتربي عيالك. That's it. So that the mentality, that the thing they force us, like it's just in our head how you going to grow up as a female and you're gonna get married وفي النهاية هتكون رب المنزل. يعني التعليم ده طلعوه في رؤوسنا خالص. والحاجة بتدخل الامرأة في السياسة ده حاجة اسم تعليم. لما انت تتعلمي التعليم ده أهم حاجة بوريك شنو في العالم ما just local بوديك international عشان تعرف في شنو هناك. لكن بالنسبة لنا كمرأة جنوبية we don't have access. انت بتعرف يعني حياة الناس عايشين يعني تلقى عددية بتاعت females هم قاعدين وين في بلد ولو في مدينة بيزوجوها early time. So هي ممكن تمارس حاجة اسم سياسة. All the things she knows is just تقعد في بيت تربي عيال. That's it. So نحن يعني this time we blaming our women sometime why we don't come up and do something. And the time when we come up and do something we have men behind us don't like us like to give female freedom to have something to do to themselves. No. they أخي النسوان ديل ذاتهم هم مشاكلهم كتير ومرة لما تديها freedom يعني هي خلاص بتطلع في الراس. So sometimes بيكون فيه jealousy و sometimes قال ده عادات وتقاليد they confuse حاجة اسم female they, we are so confused. So تلقى النسوان اللي عندهم boys now ده الناس اللي جو برا ده الناس اللي قاعدين برا overseas يا هما they try to engage to engage in the politics, to engage sometimes the conversation between just a family sometimes بيقولوا مرة ما عندها صوت. So sometimes they try to make us like nothing, like they try to step us like يعني بدوسونا في رؤوسنا لازم البرة ما تطلع برا ما you don't have to spread your to spread your feeling. No. And you watching this for social media, you watching everything what is going on social media. We are women, we don't have no boys. If you come out to have boys والله الرجال بيجوا من وين؟ بيجوا من ما فيش. مرة دي جاي تطلع في رؤوسنا ولا يجي يعمل لك مشاكل لما تسكت. لأن لو بدأ يشتم في مرة لو بدأ يشتم فيك انت بتعمل شنو؟ you will run away and just start hiding. So عملوا لنا نحن نسوان عملوا لنا traumatized. لما بيعرف they know which side of weakness بتاع المرأة the men know. So that's why when you see women try to يعني يمارس حاجة اسمه سياسة مرة ده بيعملوا label بيحطوا name the bad name on her or sometimes they're attacking them. Sometimes we don't have like نكون زي هيلاري كلينتون ما عندنا because ما عملنا raise that way. So they raise us that لو زول عمل لك attack you need to step back. You know, like just break, stop the break, and don't go forward, go back. So nahna nuswan, it's hard for us, Jonkor Ashan boys bitana, to be heard. Because the way I explained to you, it's not easy for us. But for new generation, al huma hinada, al jabara, undum power. The power here talim, huma yata'allamu, lo talaw biga yata'allamu, they know how to engage. And they know how to defend themselves. Because lo ta mashayt tashub nizba bita ta'alim fi junub Sudan basita jiddan. We are haja de kitaba. And at this time, you don't need somebody to write your name. You don't need somebody to fill up your application. You must do this thing by yourself. So the jamin shun the jamin talim. And between you and I until now, even the larasoma zawajom jabom hinade, they don't even have chance to go to school. Some male, they don't allow their wife to go to school. And لما يشوفوا حد تاني بيتكلم like myself, I can come out and speak. But what they want to do, they try to destroy anyone. لما تطلع برا بيطقوك في راسك عشان تدوس تاني ما ترجع برا. So we have to be omin forever. You know, if we allowed that to happen, so 17 ده هينزل ذاته هيكون 16. Because تعليم ده ياو تعليم لو ما تابعنا تعليم, we're going to be behind everybody. In our country, لأنه تشايف here in America, مرة ياو النسوان ياو أكتر من الرجال, والنسوان هم بيشتغلوا أكتر من الرجال.
نعم.
النسوان أنت شايفهم يعني يقول النسبة بتاعت التعليم بتاع النسوان even يعني is higher than men. والمرة she compete, you know, like لو في حاجة يعني like سياسة, like you know, for example, Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, she's a female, she represents women. But لما نزول يشوف Hillary Clinton, you try to be like Hillary. It's a win. Hey, ولا شنو يا ماما؟
ما شايفين؟
أبوك.
Welcome أبوك جيل مرول.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead. تفضل يا.
Okay. Yeah. So لما نشوف Hillary Clinton, the Hillary she represent all of female all over the world. You try to be like Hillary. So لما تشوف Hillary في debate في نص الرجال, لكن لما تشوف مرة جنوبية يجي في نص الرجال عشان يمارس سياسة or to talk about debate, you will find some people that are ready to cuss on her, and you know, like to abuse her until she drop up. You know, until she drop up.
But Arwan, my sister Arwan, you know, liberation always has to start from a person. أنا لو زول ده يكون حر من mind بتاعه, حر بأفكاره. It has to start from you. You don't need to wait for someone to say, oh, right now you are free. Like it, because if you are not engaged, if you are not talking, so because we have been suppressed for a very long time, and women just make babies and stay home and cook food. I don't see that the case here in the West. Rana Southern country chance, the opportunity in his Olium school. When Zola did school, she has, especially here in Western Hemisphere, in the opportunity to talk about issues, debate, issue with our country. So the notion that the idea in and then I am white calamani white Marquis and another patient Munazil Aslan. They're not tabanin, okay? They're not mentally, they have problems. Every day for no reason. That's all in the Mishkala. And people are supposed to be intellectually having a discussion. But I'm actually have the reason. Yani women who want to make change. It's not supposed to be surrender. And just they wanted to put you down, just some simple because because women are the majority of our country. When they are engaged, their voice is likely to rise somewhere. Yes, kalam bitak sama shuf. In women back home finding so. شوف نحن طلعنا برا وقاعدين نكبر في الطريق جينا خرطوم كنا عيال صغار. I was around 7 years old. We grew up there. جينا مصر still I was in my early 20s, 21, 22. And then I came to America and I was like 25. Okay? There are some changes, للناس اللي جو هنا. فكيف انه مثلا نغتنم الفرصه ده، هم يغتنموا الفرصه ده زي ما انا قلت women are the majority in the country وعندهم فرص هنا في امريكا and they are still silent. عندهم chances في استراليا في Europe and they are still. So why is this thing happening? Who is going to come and liberate you then if you don't want to involve in issue pertaining your country? So
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, كلام أستاذ جونكور. The problem is طبعا الجنريشن اللي قاعدين هنا برا هم جو من South Sudan, or they came from the place we have war, we don't have access for the education or all this. So نحن لسه بنقول عادات وتقاليد. That's why you seeing us as a female. You are right. A female هنا برا القاعدين هنا في diaspora, they are really open-minded. They're wisely. They know what is going on. But we still have the mentality of back home culture. So when they shoot for women, when they see women like myself, like Apuk, like anybody, like Shabab Sugarin. So يشوفوك انت تطلع برا, you try to تتمارس, you need to do something that like هنا في امريكا لما if you don't have like for example volunteering job, okay, you start يعني تكون لما تكون politician, you want to run for the office, you have to do something before you go to that stage. انت عندك حاجات voluntary, you helping people, all this to go to to have record, to have record, because when they ask you, okay, انت عملت شنو لناسك عشان تيجي تجيب قدامنا عملت شنو, you have record. Okay, I was doing this, I help people, I was doing, you have record to show people what you have done to your community.
Correct.
But here لمن يشوفوك انت عندك يعني عندك حاجة ده تعمله للcommunity, you know what they did, يعني you will find somebody زول ما بيعرفك ولا بيعرف أهلك ولا بيعرف أنت جاي من وين.
I don't know if it's me. I can't hear Arwal. I apologize.
You cannot hear us? We hear you very well.
No.
Kalada Puk, what I would do, we would drop you and then come back.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Continue, Sister Arwal.
يا لما يشوفوك عندك طموحات يعني ده تعمل حاجة بيحتموك والطريقة بيحتموك بها, وطبعا الطريقة إنه يشتموا فيك أنت وكده وكده وكده. أنت لو إنسان يعني قلبك يعني راسك لو ما وايز, you طوالي you disappear from the earth. Nobody will see you anymore. So لما يحصل لحد يعني واحدة فينا and then you disappear. So what انت عملت شنو؟ ما عملت حاجة, right? So they know this is the weakness بتاعت المرأة. The weakness بتاع المرأة. So we know we side we can destroy her, and we side we just can let her disappear on the earth, not to come. It's to cause on female. Is to go to destroy her reputation, to go to her family, destroy everything. ده حاجة ده مرة أصله حاجة مرة بخطه قدامه أسرة بتاعه. بخط أسرة بتاعه قدام. So when people seeing that weakness بتاعنا in that side, طوالي they target us in that way, and that way you see female, they always hiding, disappearing. But this is not the time we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to stand up as a female. لو في حد طلع إنه عايز like to يشيلنا برا من community, يعني ما يخلينا نعمل يعني تمارس حاجة اسمها سياسة. So we have to stand up. That's the only thing I should say, As a female, we're supposed to stand up. We're supposed to stand together. We're supposed to come with a strong message to the men. This is not the time women supposed to be in the kitchen. It's the time women supposed to be on the table with men. We have to debate, what is going on in our country.
Absolutely.
So the way هما بيشوفوا نحن يعني like I said it, that the way they just knowing us نحن يعني we are weak in that side. So what we're gonna do? Oh, we cannot debate with men. We're still gonna walk behind men. لو في مرة قال أنا داير أكون قدام ولا داير أساوي مع الراجل, you will see what the man gonna do. The man will come with a strong voice and just, no more. Your wife, your wife, your wife, your wives. If your wife, she's strong, people will come to men and telling men stop your wife not to say anything. So it will رجال دايرين انكم انتوا تدوا فرصه للنسوان. Number one, تعليم ده ما يطلع مرة يقول يا مرة انت شغلك كله ده kitchen. We don't want to be in kitchen. This is not time for the kitchen. And this message for female out there. If لو راسك مفتوح وقلبك ده تعمل حاجة لوطنك, you want to run for the leadership, ده تعمل شنو, you must start from now. You have to debate, man. You have to come up with the idea, because it's idea. نحن ده نتكلم في ideas. So if women don't have no shame, don't have no power, we're going to be 16%, not to be 17. We're going to be 16.0, or we're going to be 5.0. We don't want that to happen to female. وعندنا البنات كتار هنا يتعلموا في بنات يعني like أبوك هنا ده جات تحسي وفي باقي female, they have female يعني عندهم background, education background. Almost supposed to stand up, but why there's not standing up? This is the one I tell you. Almost man target us. لما نشوف مرة قوي, you done. In every community يعني مفروض هما ما يبقى مرة يكون في kitchen. We don't want to be in kitchen, and that's the thing I just want to tell you, female out there, don't allow yourself to be just making food for the family, cooking, cleaning. You need to do something to your career. You need to do something to yourself.
I have to ask you a question, Sister Arwan. Working in the kitchen is not a problem. Cooking food, because these are our family. We can cook. But the question that I'm raising here is beyond that. لأنه لو women are the majority of the population in the country, ولو كل وقت يعني واحدة بكون عنده طموحات، عندها طموحات ده تمشي. لكن هي بتقول يا أخي لا أنا أصلا لو مشيت people are going to cuss at me, they are going to say this and going to say that. Actually you are holding yourself back. بعدين حتى حرية نحن قاعدين في أمريكا ده. You remember in 50s, in 40s and 50s في أمريكا زول كان بدوق مرة ويجروا في الثلج يمشي يخليه هناك. That's why the law in America is very tough now in men.
Because women.
Yeah, a lot of women, they fought
came out.
They fought through it. As a mafia, in America, because it's something. So what I'm trying to say here, always, until you have to fight your way out, particularly in the opportunity. You have to speak up. Now, question, with all this thing happening, women are the most affected. في issues اللي قاعد يحصل في بلدنا هم اللي بيموت في ولاده يعني بس مرض ممكن ما بيقتلوا جناب بيقتلوه ويسفر يقعد مع عيال اكل يجيبوه يودوه وين يعني ياكل اخر واحده. We have learned a lot. لأن لما جينا حتى انا وكده جيت امريكا زي ما انا وريت قبل جينا صغار جينا مصر وين لحد ما وصلنا امريكا اللي شفناه كنا صغار we feel bad. I remember there is an uncle I used to work together. His name is Paul Quito. Actually, he's from Fujulu. He's an older man. He's in 60s. لما نمشي اللانش كان بيقول لي تعرف يا جون كور فعلا لما نتكلم عن women بيقول لي فعلا يعني نسوانهم كانوا تعبانين شديد. لأن كده شوف مرة ياهو بيمشي بيجيب حطب ياهو بيعمل أكل ياهو بيحمم يال ياهو بيعمل حاجات ده كله. I know these are the things that actually culturally عملوا كده. Okay. لكن هنا there's a lot of things that we have seen actually they were wrong. People supposed to share things together. ما بيعني انت لو بتطبخ وتزول ده شغال doesn't mean that you cannot go to the stage. So what I'm saying now with the issue that affecting our country, what women can do to change this, particularly women who are in the West, لأن في West ده لسه عندهم ability. في West ده ما ممكن يقول يا أخي الليلة ده I want to run for a public office وفي زول قاعد يشتمني عشان كده أنا ما بيعمل. No, في norms في قانون بيحميك. Yes, لسه عندنا هناك ما في قانون بيحميك. لكن women الجو هنا ده وعندهم ability to غير something that happening back home. What can they do? What role they can play? هذا كل يوم كل اسبوع انا يا بيجي بتكلم هنا ولما نتكلم فدامنا دي men يا بيجي بيتكلموا. Women are not coming to speak out too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
كلامك صح Mr. Jonker. You are right 100%. طبعا نحن ما خلينا كالشة بتاع تانا جبنا معنا Sudanese.
Which is
South
okay.
Sudanese they have the same. So back to the kitchen. أنا قلت kitchen it's not like نحن نخلي الطبخ في kitchen. طبعا المرأة أكل بتاعه بيكون حلو أحسن من الراجل you know. But the thing is it's not like we're gonna leave the kitchen. But it's like okay. لما المرأة تطلع برا and you try to do something to benefit your sisters or our sister back home. We don't have freedom عشان نحن نقدر نعمل حاجة ده. We have our enemies here. Our enemies معنا هنا في diaspora. They come and destroying. It's not like it's لو مرة مفروض ما don't think about somebody else عشان زول تاني يجرك تحت. لكن لو community allowed that to happen. Community allowed that to happen. Somebody will come and start, disrespect you, and community will say just washing, like they don't like حاجة هما بيقول mind my business, So somebody will try to destroy you, and the thing is, ده تعمل حاجة. You want to do something good, like these girls. And one of them أنا شفتها وابوك المشي ديل. انتوا عارفين الستوري ماشيين في السوشيال ميديا ده. اوكي لو زول داري يقوم داري يعمل
حاجه.
And
actually لقطة حديثك يا أروان. I receive a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls from South Sudan, from journalists. لموقف الشجاع. شفت الكيس اللي كان حاصل between فنان مع مرته. Who solved it? They are the women who solved it because they raised their voice beyond. وأثروا. وعشان كده أنا قلت طالما أنت قاعدة to raise your voice when it comes to social issues, why not raising your voice when it comes to political issues as well in the country? لأن now عملت تأثير لدرجة القضية دي كان it was going to create a conflict, between the communities. It was going to create a conflict between the communities. لكن because women here they fought this thing so hard. ناس خافت قالوا يا اخي المشكله دي بعدين هيخلق مشكله بين الكوميونيتيز اللي عندنا ده. So let's solve this problem, and they were able to solve this problem. Look how powerful the voice women have raised to solve the problem. اللي كان يمكن يجيب مشكله كبيره. So if you can do that socially, why can you involve to change the dilemma that happening in the country? تفضلي.
Yes. كلامك صح. كلامك صح Mr. Jonker. Hello Lena. Yeah. Well, كلامك صح Mr. Jonker.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
Hi Apu.
The thing is, the thing is, Mr. Jonker, is the first time. The first time حاجة دي يحصل من نسوان بتاع جنوب السودان. It was the first time. يعني لما المشكلة حصل خدنا الكنسة الجنوع نسوان طلع بvoice واحد. one voice. This one made me so proud. One show أنا كلمت في show. This is my first time أنا بنو مرتا, and I'm so happy. نسوان they rise up one voice. عشان هما they fought for their sisters. ولو كانوا ما عملوا حاجة لبنات ديل بدي كانت في سجن هسه. لكن كان different voice, and that was right. Okay. وحاجة it end up not good in the end. بيجا هسه الستوري ماشي عملوا يعني قلبوها عملوا U-turn وبيجا هسه في الستوري ده يعني المفروض الستوري to end up good, it went up end up not good. وده abuse بتاع الرجال وده community بتاعنا ما بدي مرة لما نشوف مرة داير يكون عندها boys they try just to stop her, to just destroy her, not to see her anymore. So نسوان يعني حاجة ده it made me so happy. كمان بدي فرصة لأخواتي عشان هم يتكلموا هنا.
قبل ما تمشي what role now في dilemma الحاصل في البلد ده كله, all this dilemma الحاصل في البلد كله. What role? Since you have that role, you can play, يعني a very effective role in social issues, like social issues. الموضوع كان حصل لمرة في جنوب السودان. What role can you play as مرة في جنوب السودان? The suffering that people are going through every single day. The suffering women and children are going. انت بتعمل شنو؟ What you can do?
اوكي
Just very short.
اوكي absolutely كلامك صح. سؤال يعني واضح. So the thing we're going to do as a female of South Sudan, we supposed to come together like الحصل اللي أخذنا اللي كان في الجنوب ونسوان they rise up. This thing my gift. This is the beginning of our politics as a female. نحن نجيف لبعض كنسوان ونحن نكون boys بتاع النسوان في الجنوب. and نحن برا ده نكون boys بتاع النسوان في الجنوب because they don't have freedom. They don't have access عشان هم يكونوا يتكلموا في social media. But we are here. إننا نسوان الهنا برا. لوتا من وين مرة يكون مرة. Female as female. You know, like نحن نجيفوا together and we have to fight. So we're gonna play this rule.
So you are calling for the unity of women to interfere with the issues that happen in the country.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. نحن ندجو يعني we have to unite it. We have to unite it and we have to speak one voice as a female. You know, لو female هنا في أستراليا في كندا في أمريكا لو في حاجة حصل we have to speak one voice. يعني ما في زول يضحك وزول يقول ده ما بتاعي. This is the way we have to rise up. We have to fight. We have to let our voice to be heard. You know, lo young men come men and we speak one voice. I don't think men will have a chance عشان يعملوا شنو يشيلنا برا في محلنا. But this is the way we supposed to be in this show all the time. Just give us time, you know. We have to think more because this is the first time. And our voice, I small taban, yeah, Banadel Badu, and we came out hard, but we have to be boys of female of South Sudan. Or this is the beginning of politics. Politics.
Yes.
You have to تمارس يعني. So we are in, and we must do this job. So Haikun Kalami, we women have to rise up one voice. This is the way we have to succeed, to pursue our future, and the politics of South Sudan female must be in front, not to be in back.
Sister Arwal, thank you. It's always good to have you. I like that message of unity, that women of South Sudan need to unite. The suffering is so great, and it is necessarily for them to be in front row, not in back row. So thank you so much, Arwal. And please stick around. We may bring you back later. Welcome, Jay Marol, and welcome, Sister Lina Perek. Apuk, I will give Lina a chance, and then I will go for you as well. So we need to go briefly and then give chance to one another so we can continue. So go ahead, Lina. I will remove you, Arwal.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I greet all of you. Thank you very much, Junkor. Such a great topic today. It is always important for women to have a voice. It is always important for women to have a platform where they can express themselves and express the need to why women should have a voice. So thank you very much for giving us this opportunity tonight to be a part of this platform.
Here we go. Welcome, Achol Madut.
Welcome, Achol. How are you, beautiful? So thank you very much, Junkor. I will pass the chance to Apuk because she was here before me, and then I will go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Apuk, the podium is yours. Go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome, Achol. Do you hear us? Achol, do you hear us, Achol? I don't think so. Achol can hear us.
Can I have the brush?
Okay, Apuk, go ahead. I'm going to remove her.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, we hear you, Achol. Okay.
Can you hear us?
Do you hear her?
I think it's just a minute. Do I need earphones or something?
You need earphone, yes. Go ahead. Apuk, go ahead, please.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to apologize, Junkor, for
no problem.
Tuning while I'm in the car. I've already spoken to you, so you do understand the circumstances to the reasons why I'm doing the live video where I am right now. First of all, I was not driving. I was just a passenger. So to people that were concerned whether or not I was driving while on live video, I would never do that. It's a mistake that I can never do. So if you were concerned, no, I was not. First of all, thank you, Junkor, for your platform. You're taking your time out. You're totally volunteering. No one is paying you for this. In fact, you're wasting your money. Well, not really wasting your money. Like, you're using your money and you're volunteering your time, okay, to sit here and give us all a platform where we can come and share our ideas as South Sudanese.
Go ahead. It looked like that it's glitching.
Whether it's women or men or regardless of.
Keep cutting.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
now we hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is this. So women do have a role to play in anything in society. A society without women or men cannot really be a functional society. Now, when it comes to South Sudanese community, we're not saying that women are not being empowered. 100% women are being empowered. Okay? It's just that we have a culture that we're trying to bridge at the moment. As you know, I am one of the people online here that has been talking a lot about gender inequality. And half of the time, people are saying that, why are you only targeting men? Why are you only speaking about things that are just affecting women? What about the men in Western world that are also being impacted by some of the law here? And this is what I usually tell them. I'm like, look, when I post something online, I am talking about the context of Australia. I understand that there's no way I can go to my village of Twin Mayadit and tell a woman there, please don't cook and clean. Impossible. That can never happen. Okay? Because I understand the gender role over there. I understand the traditional gender role. But when we come to the Western world, this is where it becomes an issue, where all of us are busy. Okay? You have people where the men and the women are working, but you still see that within this culture, some women, they work as aged care providers or whatever it is. They work for very long hours. They still have to come home. They still have to go and cook and clean and take the kids to school and do all these things. And the men, I'm not generalizing men, some men, because a lot of men out there are also doing the right thing. So I don't want to be biased in this context. But majority of men, they used to be very reluctant. When I was young, I used to observe it and I'm like, what's going on here? When we first settled here in Australia, a lot of men had the opportunity to go to school, okay, and gain higher qualification to a level of PhD. Women were busy, okay, raising children, looking after children. And now the reality is catching up with us. And we understand, I'm not going to go in depth into the system, but reality is catching up. Women are starting to wake up. They're starting to say, wait a minute. Wungek, I have given you all this time to gain your qualification, gain your, and then you just go back home to South Sudan because you want to go and work. And then I'm left here with kids. You go and you move on, you marry a new wife. This is the sort of gender inequality we're talking about, where women are being disadvantaged. So, because traditionally women are deemed as people, okay, that should be looking after children, being inside, caring and ABCD. But if your wife is one of the greatest women to give you that opportunity to gain your education, and then why wouldn't you want to give back to your own family? Why would you want to go back home, find a job there, and then start a new family? I don't understand. Now, like I said before, this is not going to everyone. There are some great men here in Western world that are doing an amazing job. Because I'm not going to generalize everyone. When it comes to this idea of gender, women empowerment, a lot of people are taking it out of context. People are making it as if it's men versus women. No, it's not about men versus women. It's about the little things here and there. Okay, it's about making awareness within the community about some of the things that we believe as women need to be changed traditionally. I've already given you an example where some women stay at home to bear children, and then their husbands, they leave after, as soon as they get the degree, they want to go to South Sudan and be employed there. Okay, and then they leave women struggling here with their children. That's the little thing. That's the gender inequality that we're talking about.
Yeah. But Apuk, we are going back to our topic of tonight. I hope majority of people are not going just to talk about the wife and husband. we have a bigger issues that to talk about, which
I
is the
can't
issue
hear
of
anything.
you cannot hear anything at all. You cannot hear me at all. Do you hear me, Ashol? Yeah, it looked like Ashol has problem with audio. So let me remove her and then she can come back.
Let me just make John Cora, is it okay? Because there's someone that keeps on calling me. I'll get back to you. Can you please continue with Lina? I'll
Okay,
join you soon.
yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Go and activate do not disturb. I think that would be much better, again, what I wanted to say, Lina, انه الموضوع ان احنا ما عايزينه بس يكون مرة وراجل. الموضوع موضوع بتاع بلد. Okay? We don't want to take it just okay ان احنا بخلونا ونحن بيسيبونا هنا وناس ماشيين افريقيا وشنو احنا كلنا دايرين نمشي افريقيا including women, including the children. So how can you be affected to bring the change? عشان احنا كلنا نمشي. ما راجل يقول نمشي افريقيا وهم يقولون نحن كلنا نمشي بمره بيال كلنا نمشي افريقيا نبني مدارس كويس ويالنا يقروا هناك instead ده جاي بجاي وده يمشي هناك قالوا عرس وده خلى ده بجاي. What role can you play to bring this change as a woman? Go ahead, Lina Perek.
Thank you very much, Junkor. You know what? We always narrow down to family level or marriage in general in the West. But I totally agree with you. The case is bigger than that. It's not just only at the family level or husband and wife level. It is actually literally at the society level. So at the society level, our problem is this. You brought up a very good point. What is preventing women entering into political arena? What is preventing women from having a voice in society? What is preventing capable, strong women from being a part of the civil society in our community and making a change? Did I get you right?
Yep. Got
Okay,
me.
perfect. What is preventing us, Junkor?
And understanding politics too, because there are some people talking, but
Yes.
we don't understand. Are they really talking about the politics or they talking about something else? Go ahead, Tina.
Totally. So if we pick it up, first of all, are there women actually in the first place? Are there women that can actually enter the political arena? Are there women that are equipped? Are there women who are strong enough to understand politics, to challenge men at the table and negotiate for a better society? Are there actually women? The question is yes. There are strong women, as a matter of fact, academically, socially, intellectually. There are strong women out there that can do that. The only issue is this. We are being held back by old traditions, and there's a battle between culture or between tradition. I won't even call it culture. I will call it traditions. So there's a battle between tradition and the modern day of ways of doing things. All right. So this is what is preventing women. A great example, I will give you a good example. I live here in Calgary. I am from Tweed Bayadi, for example. I think it was last year, and I was running for Women Affairs, and I was simply rejected just because I'm not married. My ex-husband is not from Tweed Mayadit. Okay. Even though I was extremely qualified, not only that, I have great objections actually that will take community forward. And I also saw the need of me being part of Women Affairs because we do want to make some changes. We focus so much back home, but we don't focus in diaspora. But I was simply rejected just because I am not married in Tweet Bayadid, and also I am a girl considered to be, which is very shameful because a young woman, the minute you are above 20 or 18, you're not a girl anymore. You're a woman, right? And those are little things, traditions and cultures. Those are the things that are preventing us. Okay, you can find a very strong woman, but she's held back, or you can find a strong woman who is scared to enter political arena simply because she's afraid of how she's going to be attacked. She's simply afraid to how she's going to be perceived, and also the family also will hold her back. The family will like, no, don't go there. People are talking about you. This is not right. This is not that. So you find women are not able to enter political arena, and not only political arena, even community level. If you go to communities right now within United States and Australia, you will find women are not leading. You barely find women leading. Now, whether for women voice, is it a problem in South Sudan or is it a problem in diaspora? I see it as more a problem in diaspora rather than in South Sudan itself. I see women in South Sudan to have more opportunities. I see women in South Sudan to really practice this 30% thing. I think it's working. But in diaspora, that is not working.
Unless she's a daughter of the uncle or related in South.
Right, exactly, right? Or her dad is known. But if we come to diaspora, that's even more an issue rather than South Sudan. So here in diaspora, you will find women to be given less chances to rule. They are not encouraged to lead. They are not given the opportunity to do that, even if they have the will to do that. So again, number one problem is our Dinka traditions. If you are from Dinka, then Dinka traditions are number one drawback for women that want to enter society and want to make change. One. Number two, another second issue is that women that are vocal seems to be attacked in our society. They seems to be perceived are people that are going to be feminist, even though I feel like they misunderstood that word. But the minute you are vocal, they will associate you with being feminist, being extremist, being a woman who radical, who want to change society, who want to change culture, who want to change tradition. So you find everybody against you, even though that's not really what you're all about. So that fears a lot of women. You find yourself in a dilemma that does not stop. You feel like change is not going to come. You're not being given that opportunity. You get perceived as a woman who's coming to challenge what is already there, the norm of Dinka culture. So those are the little things that are holding women back from entering into society arena to change things within society and also to enter into political arena. They have to think about it twice, right? So it is more a problem than here. And I will give you a great example. When we came out to help our sister Aman, the culture arrived. Everybody's like, no, 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 no. This is a man and a woman thing. This is between two people. How do you guys enter in? Oh no, this is not a Dinka culture. This is not the way you do things. But then again, we are confusing two things together. We're confusing women rights and human rights and tradition at the same time. So I find our society to always going back and forth between culture and the modern laws of how we govern ourselves right now as modern people. So there are so many problems, Jonko, those are preventing us. So I can stop in those 2 points right now, that we have the culture or traditions of Jing in general that is preventing women from entering political arena, from entering social arena to change society or to challenge society. They get perceived to be feminist rather than people who want to change society.
Thank you.
Right. So I will stop in those 2 points. I will give Achol a chance. If you want me to comment again, then sure. I will stop.
I'm going to have a question for you actually.
Go ahead.
What can women do instead of, should you give up because you have been criticized, because you have been called that you are feminist, but actually you already have a victory because what had happened the last couple of weeks has changed something in the community back home. So I'm going to go back to you. I welcome my sister, Achol.
Yeah, sure.
The front line of fighter. Achol, welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. And you are aware of the topic of tonight, and it is below the screen here. Of course, like I said, it is not between man and wife and husband. This is bigger than this, what we are talking about today. So I yield the podium to you, Achol Madud. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jonko, and thanks, Lina, and
Arwal and Apuk. Okay.
Apuk, and Arwal, and the viewers. Good afternoon. It's actually afternoon in Australia. Sorry, I had to jump. I spoke to Jonko earlier, but I had a lecture to attend, so I'm thankful to be here. And as the topic has suggested, and I've listened to what Lina's inputs and Apuk's inputs. I haven't listened to Arwal, but I think a lot of my sentiments will be running along the lines they're speaking on. However, I'll just add probably a little bit, or maybe just amplify more on that. So what I would like to say is I would first like to acknowledge acknowledge you as Jonkor, because the moment a man stands up and start the conversation on equality, it's more of an impact. It creates more impact than us women starting the conversation,
Mm.
because once we start the conversation, it feels like within our society, and some of the men take it as an attack, and they take it as if our position as women in a country like South Sudan or an African background, it comes off as women who are probably emerging to be equal to men, which is not what's traditionally accepted, that women should be bystanders and watch what everybody else does,
Mhm.
everything. Getting. So what I'm trying to say here is this: I would like to acknowledge you, and I acknowledge actually South Sudan itself as a country. And let's not forget that our sisters, we need to also acknowledge, we also all should acknowledge that South Sudan is moving a step forward. And
Mm.
I think I've made this statement a few times in some of my videos, or maybe some of my statements, that given that South Sudan is the smallest and it's the newest country in Africa, which has gone through civil war that has went for over 3 decades. It's emerged to be one of the countries that is trying in its own unique way
Mm.
to bring up equality. And that's what we can acknowledge, the fact that we have a defense minister in South Sudan as a woman. We have other top women there who are in the ministry.
Mm.
So I would really acknowledge South Sudan and acknowledge the leadership itself, the leadership of Salva, that it's Salva and Riek Machar, that they've done that. That's quite a big step forward. Knowing that women are already in the top positions out there. So it's a step forward, and it's a little step that makes a lot of difference.
Mm.
You know. So what another thing is that of course, and Lina has mentioned this, that there are so many issues that surrounding why equality of women, it becomes a big issue once we decide to speak about it. Let's
Mm.
say we talk about equality, talk about empowerment or feminism itself. It creates a lot of an uproar and a lot of controversy around the topic itself. And I think because there's a huge lack of understanding,
Mm.
that people do not really understand that even if in their smallest one way, some of the men are already empowering women in their ways, but they do not know they're doing that, right? Um, Tradition plays a big role. Tradition, and let's say culture itself. And I don't know how we still perceive our culture at this point. We may need to actually go back and review a lot of things, because our culture has gone through so much transition. So much transformation that we don't even know what is our culture. I have never lived in South Sudan. I left when I was 3 years old. I've lived in 3 different countries, in Ethiopia, Uganda, and finally, the longest I've lived is in Kenya. As a little girl, I went to school. My primary and high school was in Kenya. So
Mm.
I would say a lot of my culture would be influenced by a Kenyan sort of culture. Although I had relatives around, although my family tried to orient me and raise me with the values of, let's say, Nyanamonjang, I
Mm.
still I still acknowledge that. But then again, I came to Australia at my earliest years when I was 23 years old.
Mm.
I've lived in Australia, married in Australia. I've had children in Australia, been in a marriage in Australia for over 12 years.
Mm.
So that's another way, being in Australia has made a huge transformation in
Mm.
my life, that I don't even know what sort of culture am I even leading, though I have a bits of the values from my cultural point of view as a Nyanmonjang that I apply to my marriage, that I apply to my parenting styles, as
Mm.
well as incorporating the modern, let's say, modern sort of culture, Australian like culture, sort of, let's say, in parenting and in marriage itself, you know. But so when we talk about culture here, our culture is in question. That we need to actually go back and revise and revisit and have another conversation and see where are we at this point and where are we heading to,
But
right?
I
Um,
told, just to go back to to our main topic.
yeah,
So now, so when you say that the leadership of the country, when you acknowledge and saying that having a defense minister as a female and other female in the country, so does that satisfy you? Everything is okay. Does that satisfy you when we say that we are calling for change and women, they have to involve? And thus one of the reasons we are here is that you particularly, you aspired a lot of people when you stood up for that case of the women back home, because she was suppressed and you didn't like what happening, and you spoke up, you raised money, you riled women behind, and then actually the issue was going to take a different angle. But because of the voices and what you guys have put forward, the women, the community were able to sit down. Hey, in order, not to allow this thing to get out of the way, let's sit down and settle the issues. So now, what I try to say here, are you satisfied with what's going on? So does that mean that women involvement to bring the change in the country is not necessarily, or is it necessarily? And if it is necessarily, what can you do with that good ideas you were able to ride people behind and have an impact on situation that had happened? What can you do to create more impact?
All right. I'm not I felt like I should acknowledge that, but I'm not satisfied. The reason I'm not satisfied is that I feel like okay, first, by acknowledging it meant that it shows there is a bit of
Progress.
there's a picture that's being projected in our society that women can lead. And women like Angelina Tang, let's say, and Nyandeng Garang Mabur can be in such position. And also as other women that we have seen before leading at the levels of, let's say, being governors or commissioners. That one I acknowledge it, but I totally do not agree, because that's a very small percentage of women up there, and that being a small percentage of women out there, I also do not entirely, I'm not entirely satisfied, because some of those women came through that leadership because of what is it, privileges. Like Angelina Tang got a privilege because, of course, Riek Machar is the husband. Nyandeng Garang Mabur has a privilege because she's the wife of wife of the late Garang Mabur, so that's a privilege. Other women could have some privileges that made them go through that. But I will be satisfied when one of the days, maybe in years to come, let's say another year or 5 years from now, a South Sudanese woman who has no any privileges whatsoever comes up and wants to lead, and then men rally or the country rallies behind her and give her that position. So I'm not satisfied. I just have to acknowledge that little improvement, but there is a lot of work to be done. We have a lot of work to be done, and there has also been challenges as well. There are women that have been like, there was a case of Ayan Mijong Kir from Ruweng, or is it Padang, that has been going through some battle with I believe Pagana, not Pagan, is it Pagan? There's a story that was trending a couple of weeks ago that
No,
her okay, I don't know who, but
I don't know about that case. Yeah.
But her leadership was in question, and she was being intimidated because she's a woman. So that's another case that we should actually bring in picture and look at it and see why is she being challenged, or why is she being intimidated? Is it because she's a woman? Does it have anything to do with her gender? While I also acknowledge she stood her ground as a woman actually and fought back, and I've seen many men as well rally behind her back and fought that. So yeah, I hope I've answered you. We still got a long way to go, and I hope the women in those top leadership like Nyandeng and Angelina Tang and many other women that are on top there, they also have a role to play. They have a role to play, because at this point they are the trailblazers in South Sudan. They are the trailblazers of women that have got into positions, so those high positions. So they have a role to actually create another impact of bringing in women into following into their footsteps, as well as the society itself will watch from what they do, and the leadership of South Sudan will also have to follow through that, as well as everybody else. So I hope I've answered that question.
I know. Actually, you have a class. You have to go to class. But I want to ask you last question, because I don't want to take your time unless you have extra time to spend with us.
I finished my class.
Oh, if you
that's why I came in late. Yes.
Yeah, that's great if you finish your class. Now, so from the beginning, given the situation that happening in the country, that actually there is unrest, there is economic meltdown, there is a war, inter conflicts, communal conflicts in the country, so much thing, across the board. So women are not involved enough, and that's one of the reasons that we have to conduct this, to let them know you are the majority of the country, and it is necessarily for you to participate in a country that women are challenging the decision-making people. Things are likely to be settled. Things are likely to be moving in the right direction. But if every woman say, try to be a good girl, try to be a good aunt, and then nothing is going to happen. Now, what is the role can women here in diaspora, young women, women, in particular, what can they do to change this dilemma that happening in South Sudan?
Um, um, one thing, one of the things that I actually have a problem with is the fact that women's role in civil war has
Mm,
never, it hasn't been acknowledged. It hasn't been acknowledged yet. Let's say we don't have a mark that has been created that has put certain women
mm,
who, and be like, okay, these women have created. I know very well most of our moms here, my mom, other women, iconic women like Adara, other women like herself, Nyandenga Mabur,
mm,
they've contributed so much during the civil war in their small ways,
mm,
by being carers, being nurturers, being there to look after of the disabled, look after the kids, the families themselves.
mm,
So that's one of the things that if we had to speak to the leadership, which is one of the days we hope to do, is that there has to be an official acknowledgement to women and how they've contributed to civil war itself. That's one of the things that will create a mark. As much as some of the women they don't have any qualifications, they don't have any educational background, they
mm.
have contributed in their smallest way into supporting what it is the independent South Sudan at the moment. That's one thing we put aside. When we come to women's contribution to the country currently, I still believe that women are contributing in so many ways. They are contributing in so many ways. It's just not it's not being seen, because if we still have women, it doesn't we don't have to necessarily have all women in leadership for them to be seen as contributing to the society. Women are contributing to society. They contribute to the economy itself. Many women are involved in entrepreneurship. They are business women. They contribute to the society itself. There are women in healthcare. There are women in let's say education sector. That they are contributing to the country itself. It's not being acknowledged, because even if they were to raise families, let's say women are only raising their own families, that itself is a contribution to the country. It's a contribution to the society. So we need an acknowledgement, and people need to see it that way, that women are not just there to nurture, they're not just there to be mothers. Being a mother itself is one of the biggest form of contributing to the society itself.
Correct. And that's why we are asking a direct question. We don't want you just to be, nurturing. We don't want you just to be raising a family and cooking. And yeah, you can go extra than that. You can push some issues. There is a war. There is injustice. Please, we want this to stop. And that's why we are asking a direct question. Achol, thank you so much. Just hanging on there.
Let me
I think.
add on a little bit
Mm,
there. Um, it still comes back to culture. It still comes back to the tradition whereby a woman's voice is not being heard enough,
mm,
right? But women have contributed. I remember going back in. Give an example of my own home. Back
mm,
home, Apuk and Agwok they've always been involved in so many battles,
mm,
back and forth, you know. But there was a time some of the women gathered together, women from the background of Agwok and Apuk, and they decided, you know what? We are the mothers, we are the nurturers, we are the ones that feel the pain because our sons are constantly being involved in war. So what do we do here? What peace? What should we talk about? What conversation should we start as mothers so that we can bring peace? If we talk from a mother's point of view, we talk from a mother nature point of view as a mom herself, I believe it creates an impact in the society. So we still have to go back into our society itself. And we need to talk about this. The narrative has to change. The narrative has to change around the fact that if a woman stands up and speaks, her voice can create an impact in our society. Going back to us women ourselves, I also always have a problem because there is one of these idea whereby we think that only educated women bring empowerment, or only educated women create an impact. That is wrong. Because when we speak about empowerment, I don't have to be an educated woman to empower another woman. Because I was empowered by my mother, who is not an educated woman.
mm.
She is not an educated woman. She only had skills that could allow her to make small businesses, involved in small businesses like liquor brewing, like cooking in a matam and stuff like that, small cafes. But she managed to empower me. She put me through primary school and high school until I managed to, my brains got me to getting a scholarship, and I'm where I am at the moment. So if we have to acknowledge our women, we have to go back to the roots. We have to go back even as far as within the rural areas and realize that our women back in the home that empower and create an impact in the society. And these are women such as women that, let's say, the initiators, women initiate and they teach. And some of the women who are midwives back at home who don't even have basic skills, let's say traditional or not traditional, they have traditional ways of midwifery, but they have created an impact in the society. They empower women in their own way. So I want, as women ourselves, I see Apuk here and Lena, and maybe those of you that are listening, to understand that we shouldn't create a gap between us. That there are the educated women and the non-educated women. We all bring voices together. We all create impact in our own ways. We all bring change in our smallest ways possible. What happened is that the educated women like us have more knowledge, have more privileges, that we can bring some more of creative things to the women back in the rural area. So I just wanted to add that bit, and then I'll give you guys the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Achol, and please hang on there. Don't go anywhere. I would go here to Apuk and Lena. Apuk, welcome back. It looked like you
Thank
are
you.
not in. I don't know. Are you stable? Are you okay?
I am stable now. Yes, thank you. I am.
Okay,
Yes.
Lena, why don't we go and give chance to Apuk, and then I will come back to you, and then I will go to Achol to conclude. Go ahead, Apuk.
Okay. Like I was finishing off before, what I was trying to do was I was trying to give a context of Western world, and also I'm going to move now back to South Sudan and what's happening there. So let me just bring it back to the concept of what does it really mean when we're talking about women empowerment. And I'm glad that Sister Joel did mention something about, not creating a gap between educated women and women that are still not that informed. All right. Because like I said, we already have a battle, we already have a gap that we're trying to fill here, that we're trying to work. So the only thing the worst thing we can do is, as women, is to fight ourselves over petty things about education and who's not educated and whatnot. That's not really what it should be about. But going back to the politics of South Sudan and the nature of how things work, I have been back home 2015 and I've seen a lot of things that were happening there. Women are still not being represented. As much as we try to make it look like, oh yeah, but we gave you 35%. That's not true. Look at the government at the moment. A lot of the women that are in the position of power, they either came through family, okay, nepotism. That's what it is. It's either they came through their husband, or they were employed through their family members, or whatever it is, okay. But what about those young women out there right now that are, at universities that just graduated? If they don't know anyone, it's going to be very difficult for them to gain employment, and leave along that the discrimination and also exploitation as well. Exploitations where these politicians, if a young woman that is not married is to come in, you will be questioned, where's your husband? You are not married. How can you lead a community when you're not married? I find that very distressing that you cannot be in a certain position because you've not had any experience. Or let's say hypothetically, if you happen to be a single mother, okay, your marriage did not work out, does that mean that you don't have the ability to lead? Because I was reading some comments before and people were saying things like, oh, leadership begins from home. But that's not really true, okay? There are women out there that are, for whatever reason, that were, whatever happened in their families, but that does not mean that they're not qualified.
Mother Teresa
Yes.
didn't have a husband.
Thank you.
She was not married, but she made an impact in her life.
You don't have to be married. You don't have to be in a successful marriage either to make an impact. That's not true. All you need is the qualification, the skills, the experience, and the drive and the motives and determination to do what you can to give back to your community. So I really want people back home to think very carefully when we're trying to make these judgments. Why is it okay for a man that was divorced or a single father to be in a position of power, but it's not okay for a woman that is that maybe she was not a successful marriage for her to not lead? Leadership is not about that. So I really want us to come back here and really look at the context of the way the country is being led right now. There's too much nepotism that is happening. People are not being employed. There are a lot of young men out there and young women currently that do have the necessary qualifications. Unfortunately, because they don't have any uncle in the government or any auntie in the government, no one wants to employ them. Young women are being exploited sexually as well. if you were to look for a position of power, there
Mhm.
are no proper law and constitutions in place to protect them. Okay, meaning anything can be done to them, and because you are coming from a community where these sort of things are very, like, families are against them, you will be silenced. People will tell you, oh no, don't speak up, don't do this. This is the sort of awareness that we need to give out there. In Western world, it's not perfect either, okay, but at least there are laws in place to protect vulnerable people in society. Let's be realistic. Yes, we're living in a world that is dominated by men, okay. uh, you already said before that women are majority, but in reality, in a real sense, majority of women are not empowered. It's only just minority population. If you look at population of South Sudan right now, very small, only very small percentage of women are actually educated. And if we're giving out positions, really, really high positions of powers, based on a certain percentage, I find it very discriminating in a sense. So why don't you educate more women? Why don't you give them more opportunities? Okay, if you're claiming that yes, we're going to give women 35%, because a lot of them are not educated, why not provide them with the avenues? Okay, open schools for them, let them be educated so that they can become productive people in
Apuk,
society.
I'd like to read a comment here. Very, very impressive comment by mother here, which is go by Balsam John. She said, الدور المفروض تقوم به المرأة الجنوبية في الوقت الحالي هو أن تقوم بتوعية النساء لمحاربة العنصرية والقبلية، ووقف خلف الأشخاص الذين ينادون بالقيادة الرشيدة الذي يقودنا إلى بر الأمان من المأزق والمأسي الذي تعيشها جنوب السودان. Which is in regular, so we can do some translation here. She's calling that the role women supposed to be playing this time. They're supposed to be advocating, calling the women and talking about the unity rather than and stopping those tribalists and sort of a racism in this time, and advocating for right leadership in the country that will bring justice and equality for all. Don't you think this is what women supposed to be doing, women of South Sudan?
I agree 100%, John Cora, that yes, that is what women should be doing. They should be advocating, they should be rallying and making an impact. But women that are capable of doing that at the present moment are the women that are in Western world. But remember, we're very far. And any woman that come out here and they want to talk about certain change or certain reforms, they're being targeted. Okay, they're being targeted and they're being pushed to silence. Like right now, a lot of women that have really good ideas, good plans, they're being discouraged by men in Western world. And that's why I'm saying let's be very mindful. We have to talk about the context of South Sudan and also the context of here.
Yes.
People back home, a lot of the women that are exposed to some form of education, maybe majority of them, their families are the ones that are running the government, or their families are the ones that are in opposition. So how can they advocate? What are they advocating for? Right? But when it comes to some of us here, okay, that are trying to make an impact, that are trying to, find some avenues to bring some change, you're being targeted. Like, I find it very, very discouraging that, yes, this is what we want to do. Yes, we need to organize ourselves as women. Okay, but remember, these things, they need resources as well. Okay, it's not something that is, like,
Yeah, you're right.
doesn't happen overnight. So I agree. Yes, women need to organize themselves. Women need to be advocating and speaking up for peace. And we have been doing that. A lot of women on social media have been doing that. If you look at it, it's women that have been saying enough is enough. Stop killing our children. Okay, we need peace to come to South Sudan. We don't want any more killing. It's women that have been crying out. But back home, how do you do that? Us women in Western world, if we were to go back home right now and try to do, what do you think would happen to us? Your life is going to be at risk. Things will happen to you.
Correct.
So that's why I'm glad that Sister brought it up before. It's the women that are in power, like Auntie Angelina Teng and Auntie or Mama Rebecca Nyadeng. These are the women that we need to follow. If they set an example, we can follow them. But at the moment, I don't even know what's happening. Okay.
Apuk. Also, I do see that the women have power. Look.
Yeah.
What a Maduring started, not too long ago. The issue of the Fanan Dinganyai with his wife. Look at the impact that they have made. Don't you see that That's the powerful thing to do. If you can raise money and if you can have an decision making back home to prevent, a problem from clans to clans, because that's what was going to happen. Don't you think women here can put hands together, knowing that they have a voice to be heard, and then have an impact in our country affairs?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, women can have an impact, but if they're being discouraged within the community by certain men, what do you think is going to happen? Because we need to be very mindful. The women that we're talking about today are the same women that are being called prostitutes, women that are being their reputations are being ruined. They're being targeted by certain men, and like I said before, what Sister Cholmadut and other girls, what they did to Dinganyai's former wife was an amazing thing. It was an amazing thing, but it has been turned into something very negative. So we need to be very mindful, and we also need to speak to our men, because I know there are a lot of men out there that are trying their best to try and empower women, and kudos to all of you. I'm very grateful that we have these open-minded, but they're very minority in number. Majority of men, if a woman was to step up and say, stop, we don't want to do this, your husband will be on your case. Your brother will be on your case. Your family members. If you're not married, they will tell you, what are you doing? No one is going to marry you. So women are being discouraged. A lot of young girls out there, we're not the only ones. We have put our lives out here to be, tarnished. And it's okay. But there are some amazing women out there, very intelligent women, that are willing to come out to do what we're doing, but they can't. They're scared. They're afraid because of the stigma that is happening in the community, because women that are vocal are seen as the destructors within the community. We are seen as people that want to bring destruction within the community. We're breaking community apart. We became too westernized. We're radical. And people are really failing to understand what we're trying to do. Like Sister Cho said before, it's starting from small little thing, and then from there we can develop and develop and develop. And I know women can make an impact 100%. But where do we start here? Where do we start here if we don't have support from our men? If we don't have support from our brothers and fathers as well? If we're being told, no, don't talk about politics. I have been discouraged by so many people on social media saying, why are you talking? You're just a girl. You're not even married. Da 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 da. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not doing this for myself. Okay? I'm employed in this country. I'm giving back to the Australian government, and I'm happy where I am. Wherever you're happy, that's where you should be. But I'm worried about my people back home, because 99.9% of my family members are in that country, and I care about that country, and that you care about this country, Jonkor, and that's why you're sitting here on social media 24/7 to allow people to share their views. So if we're being condemned, if we're being called single mothers, if we're being called prostitutes, if we're being called all these names, what do you think women will do? We will be discouraged, 100%. Even me, I'll wash my hands and say, you know what, I'm just going to get all here in Australia. My life is good here. Why should I even have to worry? But that's not what I want, because that's exactly what these people want. But they are big in number. Men that are supporting women are very small in number, Jonkor. I'm telling you. And Lina here can testify, and Achol can also testify as well. Online, the amount of abuse that women experience, it's unbelievable. So imagine if you were in South Sudan, what would happen to you? Imagine if we're just being abused. In South Sudan, you would get murdered. That's what would happen. If a woman was to come up and speak about certain things, trust me, you would end up getting killed. So yes, there are a lot of disadvantages that women face in Western world, and also back home in the hands of our own brothers and brothers, actually. Okay? So what I am trying to say here, let me tune it down a little bit. Women have capabilities. Women can make a lot of impact. We can. But if we don't have support from South Sudanese men, and then it's not going to happen. We're going to be like our mothers from back home. Okay? So to me, my only advice here, because I'm going to go now, is to young women out there, please come out, speak out more. Don't make us be the minorities on social media that are constantly being targeted. We're doing this for everyone. We're not doing it for ourselves. We're not doing it for our families, like I said before. Okay? We're not the only ones. There are so many women out there. Don't be scared. Come out.
I know
up.
you're gonna go to class and teach a book.
Yeah.
I hear the bell.
Yeah. So I'll probably let it go now. Please, let's have respect amongst ourselves. If there's anything that we want, every Janubi out there, we want the best for our country. Okay, we want the best for our country. We want, you know, the best schools. We want the best hospitals. We want the best government. Everything. We want everything that we're experiencing in Western world in South Sudan. Why is it not possible? There's nothing wrong with empowering women. There's nothing wrong with a single mother being a leader. There's nothing wrong with an unmarried girl being a leader. Leadership is not acquired, okay, through what people think of you. Leadership is acquired through you. This ice cream truck. I
Thank you.
apologize. So
Thank Apuk, I would say thank you, but I wanted to encourage you that do not look back, because if you want to achieve something good, you always have to go higher. They are going lower, you have to go higher. Do not be discouraged for those people who just wanted to bring you down, who just wanted to call you name. Actually, if you do that, you are giving them opportunity to do what they wanted to achieve. You know, by doing that, we are not going to be able to succeed. Please, I always reminded people, the former president of France, you know, Francois Hollande. Francois Hollande was not married, and he was president of entire country of 80 million. So the notion that if you are not married, you are not qualified for the leadership, for the community, no. We have to resist this. But if we surrender, if I should surrender, and Lena and others say that, oh, well, I'm going to be bullied. One guy is going to talk about me, he's going to say all weird things that actually are not true, which is, we know that they are not true. They can say anything. Don't be discouraged, because when they talk bad about you, do something better. And when you're doing something better and better, and don't even respond to them negatively, because they are going to waste your energy to a negative way, you're going to succeed and they are going to quit. That's how it should be. All right. So thank you so much. I don't want to take your time because you're going to go and give the kids, you know, lesson. Go ahead. It was good to have you on the show. We're going to move
Thank you.
on. Yeah.
thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Apu.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Where's Lena Perek? It looked like Lena Perek. Okay, let me go bring her back. Lena, I'm bringing you back. And also I saw Chelsea. Where's Chelsea Bidal? I hope Chelsea is there as well. Lena, go ahead. I give you the podium now.
Well, thank you very
What
much.
happened to Chelsea? Chelsea is gone, but I want Chelsea back. But go ahead, Lena. Finish up so I can bring others.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Juncord. Thank you very much once again for the opportunity. I'm not going to hold it for long. I think I'll wrap it up because getting late here for me. The only thing I will say is, first of all, I want to applaud all the women that have helped and stand with the man. We were a group of strong women that stood, that were in the front line, that were trashed here in social media for helping her. Women like Awerduang, women like myself, women like Nyadeng, Mayoma Kuoj, women like Puk herself, women like Chol Parian, and women like Mary Newbol, women like Lydia, women, there's so many women. I just want to say that thank you so much for standing with your sister. And some other women, very strong women that we do not see, but they are in the background, that stood with Aman, and they are still standing with Aman. And they've been trashed here in social media. Their families were trashed simply because they stood up for their sister, and they stood up for women's rights, and they stood up for human rights at the same time. So I just want to say thank you for all of you, and thank you for taking this gracefully, even though it was a very, very bad. But I just want to thank all of you. So I will come back to the last point. Junko, to be honest with you, this is a very broad topic. There are so many issues that can prevent women from moving forward, but we cannot discuss them all in one show.
Correct.
In one show, right? But what I will say, as I said, my 2 point earlier, my last point would be this, and I will comment in what you said earlier. In England, after World War I and after World War II, it was women that step up and clean up the mess. Okay, men were done, and men were minority, and women became more. And in England at that time, women were only allowed to study to be teachers and to be nurses and to be doctors, but they were not allowed to do anything else prior to more than that. And after World War II, women refused. They said, no, enough is enough. We should be allowed to teach in all sectors. We should be allowed to have different positions, and we should be allowed to be whoever we are. And women are the reason why England is England today. English women step forward. All right. And it's the same thing in Eritrea. In Eritrea, after the war between Ethiopia and Eritrea, Eritrea women were the one that step up. Okay. After men were done, and not only that, it took many men in that ugly war, and women stepped forward. Women, Eritrean women, are still working until this very moment. Eritrean women are the one that built Eritrea to be what it is today, right? So what I can only tell South Sudanese women is that we are living in a society that have not yet distinguished between the traditions and the modern time. Our society are still mixing two things together. First of all, your mattress status should never represent you, should never be you, and you should never be measured by your mattress status. Your mattress status is your personal choice, whether you want to be married, whether you want to get divorced, but that should not associate with what you are as a human being, as a somebody who can add something to society, right? You could be married and not add anything to society. You cannot be married and add something to society. So we live in a society where everything is mixed up, and we haven't distinguished both things yet, but we have to work along. The only message I can tell South Sudanese women tonight, and I can exit, I can tell them that we cannot wait. We cannot wait for us to be given the seat. We need to climb that ladder. We need to sit on that negotiation table, and we need to make the difference. If English women were able to do it, if Eritrean women were able to do it, why not South Sudanese women? And I don't think there's a gap between the educated women and non-educated. I think as South Sudanese women, I think we're all very strong so far. The only thing is holding us back right now, I think, is culture and traditions. But the only thing I can say is that we are 65%. And the reason why we are 65% is not something we can be proud of, but it is because of the war. And after the war, it's not only the men that clean up the war. It is the women and the men. And if women were more involved right now, I think this war would have a different direction. So what I can tell South Sudanese women, it is our job to redirect this country.
And
The men will not redirect it by themselves. We need to redirect this country to the right place. And for the women that are already in the position, like Madame Angelina Tang, those women, they're like tree without strong roots, right? Because they are there by themselves. But if there were other women after them, they would not be suffocated in J1. So us as women, it is our responsibility to redirect this country to sail into the right direction, and we don't have to wait to be given the seat. We have to demand for it. We have to claim for it. And not only that, we also have to demand to make change that works for all of us. So we don't need to go sit in the corner just because you've been called sharmuta or you've been called prostitute or whatever the names, beautiful names that I hear these days. We need to take all these names and wear them as flowers. And we need to move forward.
And to interject, Lena.
Yes.
Women must call for the unity, because coming from a mother, from a sister, is so important. They have to call for abolishment of all this sort of a tribalism and call for the unity in the country.
Absolutely. You know what, Junkur, that's a good point, because I was going to comment, that was my last point. I was going to comment in that comment that my beautiful mother that she said earlier. To be honest with you, Junkur, I think that's what we need to do. Even myself, I had made a mistake in the past where my emotion stepped in to even make a video that was very radical to the people of Equatoria, but it's what they do that piss people off. But I don't need to do that, because as women, to be honest with you, we need to take a different avenue. We don't need to go into the same direction that men are taking. As women, I think we need to take a different avenue. And the avenue is this, is that we need to unite as women, number one. And number two, we need to take a different stand. And number three, we need to find the right objectives that will take this country forward, because we don't need to repeat the same thing our brothers are doing, right? If they are corrupting, then we should not do the same thing. If they are using tribalism as an avenue to divide and for them to stay in power, we should not do the same. We should do the opposite, right? So I think what I'm calling out for women today is that women, you guys are very strong. You guys fought in this war. As a matter of fact, even you guys haven't been given a proper appreciation or a recognition, but we're not going to wait for it. We are going to continue, and the only way to continue is that when you see your sisters is struggling, don't wait. Get in, because we don't want to wait to be given a chance. We need to take that chance. And that's my last point. Donkor, thank you very much. I thank the viewers,
Thank you,
and I
Lina.
thank you for taking this opportunity to host us tonight and to for us to express ourselves. That's amazing from you to do that. Thank you so much. And thank you to the viewers. And thank you, ladies. Achol, thank you very much. Auntie Arwal, beautiful woman. I've been following with her for 3 years. I have learned so much from you. Continue to do what you do. And thank you very much, everybody. John
Thank
Cor, I'm going to exit from now.
Yeah, thank you, Lina. And it was good having you. As
Thank you.
you know, as I said from the beginning, yep, calling for the unity coming from women, it makes sense. You know, there is one thing that I wanted to make a note. I'll give you a chance, Achol, and then maybe you can make your final point.
Yep.
Women, they are better in the leadership. And I'm asking you, man, Simit. I never heard in a woman in leadership, Sarah Gurush. She stole money, Umasha Banalo mentioned somewhere in Nairobi or Kenya or in other country. And I'm asking Kalam in women Sarah Gurush. It's always, you know, we hear that our brothers are the one that's stealing money, right? Kalam alena minasma corruption alena minasma minuswan bas galo mara de fati rijalo mara de kido mara. This is the only thing that we hear. Okay? Okay? Yeah, massimin in woman biamul war, it will create war. Imti yakhlik harib wala yasir guruj wala yamul kida. So there is a bigger chance here for our sisters, you know, to involve and have a say. Again, they might to give it from the beginning. If you can make this, you know, impact in particular case, I think there is a lot you can do. President Barack Obama said, "Well, if one person can change the room, and if you can change the room, you can change the house, and if you can change the house, you can change the neighborhood, and if you can change the neighborhood, you can change the city, and you can change the state, and you can change the country." And I think women of South Sudan who are here in the West, who went to school, we have a chance. They have ability to change that. They have ability to educate more. They have ability to call for the unity and abolish all sort of a bad thing that we are in now. Okay. So Achol, I want to give you a last chance
Yep.
to weigh in, and then welcome Sister Chelsea Bidal to this very important topic. معلش يعني ندوة كان ما كويس يعني بيطلع ناس برا ودخل ناس. I hope Arwal can come back as well because we're gonna need her to weigh in her final thought. But now I give a chance to you, Achol. Achol, go ahead.
All right. Thank you one more time, and those were very crucial points made by Lina.
Mm,
So I'll go back to I just highlighted some of the points that came up as I was listening,
mm,
and also I've read a few of the comments from people. So I would like to say this one more time, and this is a topic that's quite close to my heart. You know, as a woman myself, and I'm a woman who's surrounded by so many nieces and sisters and
mm,
my own daughters. I have 5 daughters. So this is a topic that really it matters to me in so many ways that as much as I don't have the time to weigh in.
mm,
I must make my voice heard because I'm creating a mark for all the girls in the world and my own daughters as well.
mm,
So I would repeat again, John Code for bringing this up. It becomes more impactful when a man stands up and decide to start this conversation. And I hope some of the men out there will bring this up in their own ways to start the conversation itself. And let's also not forget that we are empowering each other without even knowing. You know, we empower our own daughters. I have a daughter who's 19 years old. She's now in university second year, and I have 4 other little girls that are coming up, and they have friends that I empower every day. I have sisters, nieces, um, sisters-in-laws that I'm involved in their life in so many ways that I don't have to come here and speak about empowerment because I do it. I empower them emotionally, financially, mentoring, and things like that. So let's know, even all of you people that are watching, the audiences, just know that you are empowering a woman in your own way. Even those men that are in denial about women empowerment are also empowering their sisters. They empower their nieces, cousins, by putting a niece to school, that's empowering her. By sending money to your auntie, let's say, or your uncle's wife to go and start a small business in Africa, that's empowering her. You have empowered her through, starting a business or entrepreneurship, something like that. So let's not forget that if we are talking about this, it's not just a talk. We are already doing it in our own small
I
way.
have a question actually, and this question has been coming me over and over again from the viewers.
Yeah.
What can you tell women of goodwill, but they are still standing behind their corrupt men in Juba?
This is a
They are sisters. You can send a message to them, and they
again
can impact.
this is going to my question. I mean, my answer to one of the question that is raised in the comments, whereby I highlighted earlier that I acknowledge the fact that South Sudan leadership under Kir Mayadit has put women like Nyande Ngarang and Angelina Tang and others like Awundeng I feel in leadership. I acknowledge that women are there to represent us. But then again, you came up with a question, which again I came to answer and say that I'm not entirely happy about them being in that leadership because they came through that leadership through privileges.
Yes.
Privileges that Angelina Tang is the wife to Riek Machar,
Machar.
and then Mama Nyandeng, of course, she's the wife to our late father,
Jongrang.
Garang Mabur. But that does not diminish, it doesn't diminish them, which is a question that has been raised in the comments, that these women have extensively contributed to what South Sudan is today. And I grew up around these women, by the way. I've known them personally. I've lived with them when I was a little girl back in Ethiopia. And when I speak about them, I speak about them with an immense respect because these are women that I've watched them contributing to the civil war. These are the women that I've watched. They've made their voices impact. And it's not just Angelina Tang, it's not just Mama Nyandeng. There is Mama Nyandeng Tin Carbino. There is Mama Auntie to Lema Call wife. There is my own mother. There is my stepmom. There is wives to Nguyen Bany. There are wives to Yusuf Kua. And I've watched all of these women contribute to the war itself through nurturing Jeshamer. They've nurturing Maogin. The what are they? Veterans or those people that were injured in war. So we cannot let that go. And that's why I said that earlier, that let's not forget that women haven't been acknowledged properly in the books itself. In history, there hasn't been a mark that has been placed somewhere in Juba or let's say somewhere in South Sudan that says these are our women and we are celebrating them today. They haven't been decorated enough for the acknowledgement to be seen. So I am answering to one of the questions that has been raised in the topic, that as much as I acknowledge that Mama Nyandeng and all these Angelina Tang have contributed to this what South Sudan is today, they came to leadership through privileges. And that is not diminishing them. But I want them, and I hope this gets to them, and hope that one of the days we will have a one-on-one conversation with them and let them know that they are trailblazers as women leaders in our society, as a new South Sudan. So they have a role to bring other women up, women like us, women that come after us. They have a role to play. And that role is by them mentoring young women to follow through their footsteps. And I hope I've answered that. And I had answer to the questions in the in the topic. Another thing that I would like to highlight is this leadership. Something comes up about leadership begins from home. That is true. I agree with that statement. And I also agree to our statement that whereby you don't have to be a mother or you don't have to be a husband or a wife to be a leader. When I was a little girl back in Kakuma, I started being leadership when I was 15 or 14 years old. At the level of my own home, like let's say Gogrial community, I went through transition through to Barakazal Youth Union, And I came to Australia, and I still continued with that. In my own home, I'm married to a BA. I lead in a BA community. I lead in Govial community. So the only thing that I have not, I may have not been actively out there trying to be a leader. I support leaderships that are there. I support them in other ways. But I may have not chosen to be a leader, because one of the things is that there are priorities in life. There's a priority in being a mother. You can choose to prioritize motherhood. You can choose to prioritize being a wife while you put other things on hold. Let's say you put education on hold, you put your leadership aspirations on hold, because you would like to do the priorities, and priorities is to look after your children, which is one of the things that I have done. I have chosen to first of all prioritize my family, while I will still come back. Although I still support all the leadership, I still support the community in other ways. I'll still come back later on and advance my leadership aspirations, like I would like to do in few years to come. You know, so the good part of saying that leadership begins at home is the fact that men have to demonstrate that they are good fathers, they are good husbands in their own homes, for them to go out in the society to lead other people. That's important. When it comes to women as well, it's the same thing. We have to be mothers to our own children. Let's say, for example, I have to drop my son to a basketball game, or I need to go to a community meeting. What comes first? I have to drop my son to basketball game first, and then if I have time to catch up with the meeting, I will. If I can't catch up, then I'll get updates later on. So it's just all about choosing what matters the most, and to not to forget that functional families, or if we put much time in looking at our families, we are actually contributing to this society that we want to see as best, because raising our kids mean we are raising great citizens of the community. So let's not diminish mothers who choose to sit at home and look after their kids. They are prioritizing one thing over the other, and I believe parenting or motherhood is one of the things that is a priority. you know Coming back to Lena's point, whereby she said we as women should go out there and grab the opportunities that are there. That's a very important point. It is very important. No man or no South Sudan will come and hand us change and be like, oh, South Sudanese women, come pick up your leadership. No, we gotta work for it. We're gonna come for it. We're gonna show our country that we are competent enough to stand out there and make our voices heard. We are competent enough to sit, side by side with men and argue and bring out arguments that do not, attack our personal lives. Because if I have to argue with a man, I know one of the things that a cheap ammunition that men use all the time is attack our personal lives and be like, you're not married, you're divorced, or you're just in our culture, women are not supposed to sit up and talk with men. Well, that's a lie, because what I would like to understand is, how are we intellectually relating to each other here? It's not about my personal life, it's not about my background. Same thing when it comes to men as well. So let's go and grab that opportunity as women. Let's make a mark in our society where all the other women will follow through. And also, like you said about corruption, one of the things that I've highlighted earlier, which is, I mean, I've not exhausted that point, is when corruption is being supported, or nepotism is being supported by those of Mama Nyandeng and Angelina Tang. And this is one of the things that disappointed me when Riek Machar came back and they signed the peace agreement, and then they had to choose their leaders. They went ahead and chose their own spouses and their own immediate families. That is one of the things that disappointed me. That I thought Riek Machar was bringing a better reform to the country, whereby he has to discourage nepotism, he has to discourage corruption itself. But like I said, women are playing a role in it because they are being accomplices. So if I'm going to be chosen by my husband to be my husband is a leader, and then I'm following him, I'm supporting nepotism, I'm supporting corruption. That's not a good picture in the country. And I think we had a huge uproar when the leadership was chosen. Riek Machar and his wife, Nyandeng is in the leadership, his son is in the leadership, Wani Iga is in the leadership, his wife is in the leadership. And, it is a country that looks like it's being led by a group of friends and relatives, you know, and that is completely wrong. So I believe us women have a role to play in discouraging corruption and in discouraging nepotism. Even if you were to really, really have the aspirations to be a leader, then we need to observe that we should not practice corruption in any form. So we have a role to play. But then again, I acknowledge the fact that this is a country that's just come out It's just come out of civil war. There is poverty in the country. There is so much, people want to lead by any means. So Mama Angelina probably look as it, what, I must lead whether people like it or not. So she probably went and grabbed that opportunity, which is okay. I understand that at this point. But let's hope that in the future and from the conversation we start moving forward, we have to change those kind of narratives. We have to change the way they are leading in the moment. And I have hope. I have hope that we should come together as a community. We should come together as voices, combine all tribes and all men and women to discourage corruption in the country and not engage into some of us look at it that way sometimes. Like I can criticize Riek Machar because he doesn't hail from Dinka, you know. But the moment you start criticizing my uncle, let's say I call him my uncle Salva Kiir, then I jump to being defensive. That itself we are not even contributing at all, because if we have to criticize all leaders, then we must hold them accountable for the wrongdoing. We talk to them without bias, all of them. So if our voices were combined as South Sudanese from all the 64 tribes, I'm pretty sure we can bring a greater change in South Sudan that we need. I don't know. I may have forgotten some. Okay, I'll reiterate on Lina's point of where she said that we women must unite. That is very important. And right before you invited me to your show today, Jonkor, I actually was intending to come and do a live video today, which I might later on. I'm going to I will promote some fundraisers, as well as I will highlight on us women coming together. It is very important, because when I look at in the last 2-3 weeks that we've been going through a lot of backlash from the community of why we stood up to empower Aman and trying to empower.
I'll bring you as well. Yeah, go ahead.
And why we're trying to empower Aman and maybe try to create the conversation itself of why women empowerment is important and women equality is important. We've seen so much backlash from the community by men, and while women are stood behind them and supported the backlash. I've seen some women that are currently watching, because I've seen some comments there, and some of these women actually contributed in pulling other women down. And they contribute by providing the information, personal information, let's say private information about another woman to the men themselves, while men came and trashed women online. I believe that any woman who thinks that a man who exhibits characteristics of a misogynist out there, if you support such a woman, then you yourself you're in danger. Your daughter is in danger. Your niece is in danger, because these kind of men that exhibit misogynist characteristics should not be supported in our community in any form.
Yeah.
Men need to come out
whether
and
in the
heavily
government
condemn
or
it.
outside of the government.
Exactly. Men need to come out and heavily condemn it. Women need to condemn it and stand behind their sisters, because there is nothing that can defeat us if we were united and come and come and talk about empowering each other. So we need to learn as women, as much as we need to unite, we need to stand and wrap our hands among ourselves and learn that for us to ask for this, we are doing it for us. We are doing it for our daughters. We are doing it for our great granddaughters. We're just not doing it. If one woman is in the spotlight, like if I choose to be in the spotlight today, it doesn't mean I'm going to undermine my sister. This is my time. If I need to shine, I need my sisters to stand behind me and make me shine, and understand that if I shine, the light will it will go down and make other women shine as well. It's not just about me, it's about all of us. So we pass the torch around, we pass the light around through each other, we empower each other, we empower our community in so many ways. It doesn't mean if I come to speak on a live video that I'm not empowering. No, I am empowering, yes. And another woman there who is shy, who is video shy to come and talk on a live video, is doing her own empowering in her own way. So let's not look at the platform and think that this platform is not enough for all of us. It's enough. There is so much we can contribute to in South Sudan. There is so much lives we can impact through maternity, through businesses, through girl child education, through supporting widows, through there is so much that has to be done. So it's just a matter that choose what interests you and work through it. If you see a sister doing something, support that. If you cannot support it, just sit down and let them do it.
Thank you, Achol.
So I will stop there. And thank you so much. Thanks to the viewers. Thank you for Auntie Arwal and I don't know my sister. I cannot remember your name. Thank
Chelsea
you.
Vidal.
Chelsea.
Chelsea Vidal. It's nice to see you. I may jump off as well, but I will be listening to you guys.
No problem. Thank you, Achol.
Yep.
It was good to have you. It is an honor to host you tonight. Thank you so much. Please stick around and keep watching. I'm gonna go ahead here and remove you.
Yep.
And also, I want to give Sister Bidal a chance here. Arwal, welcome back as well. I want to give Sister Bidal here to weigh in. And Chelsea, you can mix it. You can do it Arabic. You can do it English. Whatever, you know.
Good.
Yeah, that's what we want. And I also wanted to welcome Sister here. She appeared down here at the lobby, but it looked like she is not there. Akai Okel. I don't know if I said the name wrong or right. I apologize if I did. But I want you to come back, you know, Sister Akai Okel, please come back. This is very important, you know, to weigh in. We want to hear from you. Chelsea, go ahead.
Thank you, Jonkor, for having me, and thank you for bringing that topic. For me, I felt even ashamed because we're supposed to bring that topic, and thank you so much. You're always ahead of us, bringing us together, and I really, really, really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And in your discussion today, I find out, and it's not only today, I find out that we have a lot of beautiful, educated, intellectual ladies, like they are behind. Apuk, please come hard, sweetheart. You are so beautiful. Come hard. We need you on board. Lena Perik, don't sit down. Come hard. Let's do it. It's our time. First,
here you go, Sister Akai. I don't know if I say your name wrong or right. I apologize.
My name is Achai Okel.
Oh, Achai, but it's written there, Akai. But it's okay. Yeah, no problem.
That in the law.
Oh, okay, no problem. So welcome on board, Achai. Let's go ahead and listen to Chelsea, and then I'll give you an opportunity later as well. Yeah.
No
go ahead,
problem.
Chelsea.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I have been experienced a lot down there, whether in South Sudan or in diaspora, in social media. Most of the stuff that I wanted actually to say, Apuk and Lena narrated in a very beautiful way, and my sister there, she did. Yes, she talked about the discrimination which I faced during a peace talk in Addis Ababa. I was one of the ladies, and I was one of the ladies that cried that I need 35%. And we went ahead on the road in Addis, and we did it all. So first of all, I wanted to say that we women among ourselves, we are not supportive enough among ourselves. We need to clean up ourselves before blaming our men, because our men reacted most of the time on our attitude that we put on the table. I found out that first of all, I'm not gonna always say, oh, our country is new, or we are not educated, or we are not. But no, we are going to 10 years. And if a child going to 10 years, he already know how to read and write and conduct himself in a very beautiful manner in a society. First of all, in Juba, I had two hard experience in a politic arena and to do my own, to do my own business. And I experienced it not only alone. There is a lot of ladies, young, beautiful ladies, they experience it too. In the political things, Nasawindel, they cover it. I experienced Yininga, Iti Maramuno, Iti Jai Minwen, and you're coming from diaspora to do what? And who are you? You know what I mean? And they start respecting me because the father of my children, you understand? Like, oh, they ismu shunu da, they can marabitanas, they ngatorbe.
Pan makura terbe.
When you show Brazilian hair like this, will be like, this is where the money goes, you know? And then again, when I like that one, it was the past, and then I start like I have my fiance. Then Malwal, it's start going into the same shipping thing. So when I come to my community, they said, "Oh, you can fit in there because you know that those are your family. You know them. You know their language, and you know how to treat them, or they can treat you." The the things that destroy us too as a woman, we have this tendency of putting my fellow woman down. You understand? And the jealousy. If you see the amount of the women that was in the peace talk, like if we are 7, 5 of them,
Yes,
they
ma'am.
are their husband, which they are participating in the other side. So they come to accompany them, which make it like, for me, it was difficult to communicate.
Yeah.
You know, and whatever I say, like, okay, we have to bring this person on board or something, they will look at me like, whom are you bringing? Like, we already, we already accepted you. First of all, you are from diaspora, we are here fighting you, and you guys just wants to come and just take
Yes.
whatever ready in the table. So I find it very hard and difficult. In the same time, yes, Junkor, you said that there is some, no, we are facing a man that will not support us. Men always never support a woman that wants to go ahead. Let's not deny it, because I face it
Not all
by
of them though.
myself.
Not all of them.
Or not all of them, by the way. You are
Yes.
the excellent one.
I don't know.
Because you are always bring us together on the table, and
Yes.
like
Yes.
regarding the gender and unity, even if you see one of our women insulting someone, it hurts you so much,
Yeah.
to the extent even they are pulling you down because you're standing for us. I am not praising you, but you are doing a good job to bring us together. So
Yes.
anyways,
Thank you.
uh like in Addis there, okay, you are single. She said that already. I don't want to go ahead and elaborate more. When you are single, pretty much like هم ممكن يعني رجالنا, our men, they can sit down and say, oh, like there is something that I really like. Most of them, when you don't give them attention, or yes, I can have relationship with you, they call you a durjog adil kida dana semeto, you know, like this one, it's like. And then when I looked at it, the way that we are here in diaspora, when you look at somebody, you smile at his face.
What?
It's not like before there.
What?
So when
What?
I looked at the gentleman, like, regardless what, he is a man of this Sudan. Like, I should be proud of my men, all in general, what they're doing for us, regardless of what. They're educated, they're not. So when they look at my face, it's like when you smile, they mean,
To follow you,
like
huh?
like I was like. And then I remember very well, one of the ladies, like, she called me inside. فقام قال لي يا مانا توربه انت قاعد تبتسم شديد وحاجه ده ما هنا. I was like, oh, why? Why? And then
Different concept.
yeah, she explained to me everything. And then the next day I was like, was she, and I rearrange it like monkey. You look at me like I'm very serious, like no invitation. I built that shield. So I said, oh, so be nice, you tag me with other name, and be serious, you tag me with other name. And if I did not accept you sexually or relationship, you tag me with other name. But anyways, it went ahead like this, and then there is a summit, 28 summit, all of them are presidents, and they have to choose who will go inside there and speak. And I was chosen, not because I am the perfect one, but I think I am chosen because I am the honest one. And I will make my point. If I make you smile, you will just go back again and you will think about it, and you will be like, wow, she said the truth. Because there is a day that we are like having dinner, and then the IO was talking to, I don't want to mention their name, is like, okay, tomorrow we're going to go and then نمشوا تاني نشيلوا ناصر or ناصر قبضوا or بور. فأنا شايفة, I looked at them, it's like for their own interest, actually putting our children down there, killing themselves. They're here cheering up, drinking whiskey and eating, and all these girls around them, and they're actually having fun. You understand? The media is saying something different, and I am between them here. And my children is in diaspora. They are in good school. They are healthy. They're whatever. When I looked at it, I felt like I am participating in all this nonsense. All of the sudden, زي ما بيقول أنا طلعت من علبي, and I start screaming. You know, I start screaming. And I remember very well, Tabandenga Jawi give Jambi, it's like, what's wrong with you? Fish no gutelo, don't even touch me. You guys smell blood. I don't know what happened to me that time. And I felt horrible when there is rape there. There is like an elder woman, they rape her. They went to the school. It was so disgusting and it's so damaged. So I start fighting. And I do remember very well one of the women from civil society. She was there listening, and she's a white woman. She was there listening to me, and I went to the room, and then I got a phone call. She called me and she's like, "Oh, Chelsea, what's wrong with you today? I heard that you were screaming and something like this. I'm screaming and I don't want even to continue. But the kid Daniel called me, Gale Badal, what's wrong with you? You should leave your emotion aside because you're here for a reason. You know, I find that people that really wants me to go ahead and be strong for why I am here. So there is a tough experience out there. And then in terms of entrepreneur, if you open, like, for example, everything in the country is related to the government. You wanted to open even a small shop. You know, you have to go to the procedure, you meet this and you meet that. There I have seen a lot of beautiful ladies that they came from Australia, UK, wherever. They wanted to do something good in the country. All those men, they want to go under their pants. You know, and they are like 25, 27, 20 something. Like what a book says, she experienced worse. You know, and then بعد كده they sit down, they جانا منو ده بيت منو القاعد يقول يعمل نفسه تغيان زي ده. You understand? In like, I don't know, and their wife, they are sitting there. I don't know, Fallon Kalam, I don't know who is that lady that just spoke. I don't know what's her name.
Who you talking about? Achol?
That just left.
Yeah, Achol Madudin.
Achol, perfect. You said it all. I don't know whether you have been there after the peace or during those war or what. You have said it all. You know, like we have problems. We have problems in ourselves as a woman.
And that's why, Chelsea, I'm sorry to cut you off. That's why we are saying that what role they can play to change this mindset. Lano Assassin country has been poisoned with these behaviors. Nas kubar into shaifin gani yamal shunum. Yani norms bitana yom dak are stronger than the qawanin tal hakuma الآن. يعني انت عارف كويس culture بتاعنا يعني ما في زول بيمشي بيغتصب بيت ولا يمشي يعتدي على بيت ولا على مرة if you do so انت بتعرف ال consequences شنو في غرامة, you making problem with your family, you are putting more attention, and that's why the norms were so strong and they were respecting قوانين السلاطين قوانين البلد. But now in Juba they don't care because no one is going to hold you accountable. So women in diaspora, people of goodwill, what can you do? Lano, you are the majority of the country. I know women there, they cannot speak, but you here, you can speak, you can have an impact. وفي كيس اللي كان حصل قبل كده وبثلاثة أسبوع, just women, you know, أثار الحكاية لحد ما الناس خافوا back home, you know, oh ده يجيب مشكلة بين أجار وتوني وناس يشاكل لا عشان الناس يشاكلوا ما ده الناس يشاكل ناس قعدوا, and they were able to solve the problem just because of women, because of this Achol Madud and others, and they raised fund and they stood, you know, and everything was solved. So now into Hina, Kanisabta University of Sudan, we are speaking every day. Every week I do this show. but nothing is changing in the country, Chelsea. So what role can you guys play?
Wallahi, the role that we play is only empowerment and unity. Empowerment and unity. I have to empower my fellow ladies. And there is one example that one of the ladies said. لو في زول عنده مشاكل مع زول, I am not going to be the source of information to tarnish my other fellow woman character. You know, as this Sister Abuk was saying in one of her videos, it may take 5 years, but the law is always the law. First of all, نحن اتخلقنا بحاجة اسمه social media. We are abusing a social media in a different way. If you look, Jonkor, at our children, none of them in Facebook. For example, if I am even tagging my daughter and she's in Facebook, she will be like, please, mom, my picture, don't put my name, don't. Yani, we terrorize our children by the words that we are saying. We terrorize them. My children, before, they don't know what is the difference between Denka and Nuer. One of them walk at me is like, Mommy, now I am Dinka and my friend is Nuer. Should I go hang out or who are we? You know, I said, you guys are one. What do you mean by this one and this one? You guys are one playing basketball and I'm going to beat both of you if you guys fight. You know, I am going to do that. Like, I felt like I am in between. When they go to my other side of family as well, Jana Genge, you understand. Our children, by the way, social media, like, Anna, sometimes if some of the topic, if I wanted to listen to some of the topic, Anna Ba'ayin Kida Zayfar, who is gonna be here?
I know.
Because what I put is what they're going to hear and what it's like. Oh, this topic interested my mom.
I'll bring you Clara as well. Just hang on there.
Yes, I am going to. Let me go back to the topic. Of unity, which I really want all of us and everybody that is watching here. You know this problem of Equatoria. My mother is from Equatoria, by the way. I am not far from this South Sudan. They can, mumkin يقطعوني كده DNA يدعوا في will, yes, from there, and I am from there, and my children from there, and I don't care. As I said, I will be organic. The Injil, ya Jama'a, love is patient. Love is kind. Sometimes when I see other fellows of women insulting, and I looked at I looked at one of our Baragazal ladies answering, regardless of what, I feel like she is from me. Why is she doing that? Oh my God, why is she degrading herself? I will leave what she's saying and I will look at her. Like, why is she even responding to this? You understand? There is a lot there in social media that they tag me with, they tag you with, they tag everybody with. You know, why can't we just be women here in diaspora?
Oh, sorry, Arwal.
If we have problem, we need to solve it on the phone and we need to come out clean because we are the one empowering our children. All this insult that we bring in Facebook, insulting each other, like, I cannot be sitting down. They insult me a lot in Facebook. You understand? Some I respond by post and some I don't. You know? And this thing is not even, it's moving from women to men. You guys, even you guys, men. Maybe انتوا ما قاعدين تشتموا علني هناك. لكن inside شتائم اللي بيشتموكم به when they put you guys down and from other fellow close friend is disgusting. It's very disgusting. So I'm just going to take this opportunity to say we can solve our own problem. We as women, we can solve our own. We can shake this earth. Like whatever they go and they burn this flag. If we all cry in this Facebook all the time, we need unity, equality, gender-based, be school, they will look at us, they will listen to us. because we are the most affected people in South Sudan. You know, let me leave it here and.
Yeah, go ahead and wrap up so I can give Sister Achai a chance. I'm sorry, guys. You know, just hang on for a second. I'll bring you Clara. I almost say Ciara, Ciara, but Clara, I'll bring you anyway. Ciara, she's my manager actually. Go ahead.
So for me, Anabis, like, I just want us to respect ourselves. Our men, we love you. All of you guys, we love you. Just respect us and try and boost us and push us up so that our country will see peace, because peace is woman. If my husband today inside shaf indu mushkila ma Jairan, and then he went and he took a knife or he took a gun, you woman, you can say, oh yeah, Buding, why you wanted to go? Oh yeah, Buwani, why you wanted to go and for the neighbor? You can go lock the door. You can do anything. These men, they can listen. أي راجل بيسمع لمرته وأي راجل بيسمع لعشيقته زي ما بيقولوا. Let's take this opportunity to soften their heart, to make them not, oh, we have to sit down, oh, ita ma khalletni meshet, no, we have to come very closely, ya Abu Filan. You know, I feel like I am good in this area. Why can't you support me? You know, support me to be good in this area. Maybe it can bring us something, you know? And then if your man is 100% behind you, you're not going to get insults there, you know? And for a single mother, you are beautiful and you are strong. For you to be chosen to be a single mother, there is nothing that you need to do, is only to educate yourself, empower yourself, and just do something that's good for yourself, and it will benefit your children. And when it's benefit your children, it's benefit the whole society. And we just need to leave all this negativity that is coming towards us. You understand? Today, if we are here using this platform and saying our opinion, tomorrow there is next week topic is going to be on this topic, by the way.
Yeah.
There's gonna be in this topic. شفت جونكور لما ليه شفت حتة ناس كده عشان يتكلموا. No, ما حتة ناس. You know, we are the country. We are the heart of our country. And just let's love each other regardless of what. And then يعني for example جنى لو قاعد يعمل حاجة كعب، ناس مثلا مشوا عملوا حاجة كعب في بيتك، لو انت سبته الليله ولا انت ناديته تقول له يا اختي ولا يا اخوي انت جيت قعدت هنا ده، يعني انا ما داير انت تنوم في الصاله for example. You know, you can sleep inside. If you say it in a very respectful and in a very loving way, they will listen, but not very harsh the way that we are making it. We are the one, by the way, قاعدين نولي حروبات اللي قاعد يحصل في back home. We are the one fueling it, because one day I was back there when I looked at Facebook and when I look at Juba, the way that we are living, and I was like, what a contradiction. Exactly.
Thank you.
You know, we are the worst and we are contributing in this war. We don't have to say that we did not contribute in the war. We are contributing in the war. So thank you so much. You can
Thank you, Chelsea, for coming on and adding your perspective. It's always good to have you on the show. I really, really appreciate it. Shukran.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me go ahead and remove you here. And Sister Achai, thank you for being so patient. You've been patient for a very long time. Now it is time for you to weigh in. Whatever you wanted to use English, you want to use Arabic, that's fine. My viewers, thank you. Shukran jazilan. Thank you for being patient, ladies and gentlemen. My friend Matthew from Utah, thank you. It's good to see you tonight. So, Achai, go ahead, please.
I will speak in Arabic. So
Yeah, no problem. Yes.
Yeah. أنا بشكرك شديد brother جونكور على الاستضافة، وأنا برضو بشكر فيوز بتاعك على إنه هم هيستمعوا لنا في شو ده، إن إحنا women بتاع ساوث السودان. يا فحاجة ده هاي كلارا. فطبعا ما common يعني إنه الwomen يجوا زي ما أخواتي جو ويتكلموا عن رأيهم بشجاعة. فده هو women بتاع ساوث السودان اللي نحن دايرينه الليلة. You know, we are really strong. يا أنا بقول لكم كله بأنه نحن بنات بتاع جنوب السودان. أنينا أمهات، أنينا زوجات، أنينا خالات، لكن برضو أنينا strong women. South Sudan will be strong with us. أنا داير أتكلم بس في اتجاه بتاع إنه كيف نحن نempower women بتاع South Sudan، إذا كان في diaspora ولا في الvillages بتاع South Sudan ولا في cities.
Not only empowering women, because
Yeah.
actually the question بتاعنا اليوم question بتاعنا بيقول شنو؟ ما هي دور المرأة لجلب تغيير في جنوب السودان؟ دور بتاعكم شنو عشان تغيير يحصل؟ لأن البلد طبعا ماشي upside down، economic meltdown، في حرب في البلد، خراب في البلد، ما في عدالة. ف المرأة
Yeah, we can see you, sister.
أكتر in the population in the country. So أنتم بتعملوا شنو as someone, women in diaspora, عندهم ability to do more.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys just to focus in Nuswan. لأن البلد ده بتاعنا كلنا، مرة راجل جنا كله. You know, because when we talk about women, we just don't want to focus. We just don't want them يعني ينحصروا بس في اتجاه معين، اتجاه بتاع المرأة فقط. لأن أنتوا زار الدولة. تفضلي.
Yes. شكرا شديدا للكومنت ده. فعشان كده أنا داير أبدأ.
Do you see us?
Yeah, I can't see you guys. معلش I can't see you.
أنت ما شايفنا؟
ما شايفاكم.
خلاص أنا بطلعك وتاني أعمل ثانية ريكوست، أعمل كليك تاني.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead Ajay.
Yeah. طبعا برادر جانكور، أنا برجع لك ببداية بتاع التربية بتاعنا كبنات بتاع جنوب السودان، إنه الكالتشر بتاعنا طبعا the way هنا we're brought up، هنا ربونا على إنه هنا الليلة هيربوك إنه بكرة هتزوجوكي وتكوني وتكوني يعني تمسكي بيتك وتطيعي راجلك، لكن ما قالوا إنه إن كيس إنت مشيت وقيت في راجل بطال ولا شيء.
يا ابنة اليوم ويا أم الغد.
Yeah, we were not prepared to defend ourselves actually. We were prepared to just obey. You know, that's how we were brought up. وحاجة ده is affecting us today. That's why we will not contribute fully في development بتاع South Sudan. جزء بتاعنا اللي لقوا إنه education، يعني ناس اللي كان بيقوا محظوظين إنه family بتاعهم هم ندوم education، هم بسيطين. لكن برضو the culture is still affecting us, and the way our society is viewing women برضو they view us less, you know. مع إنه الحكاية غير South Sudan bigger country، لكن we were not prepared since we were young kids. For example أنا متعلمة يعني، أنا متعلمة يعني وصلت anywhere أنا وصلت فيه، لكن أنا لسه tied down, you know. I can't raise my voice the way that I want. إنه أنا شايف إنه country فيها حاجات غلط ماشي، لكن we were not given that opportunity. مع إنه في women كتار أنا شايفهم مثلا ما شاء الله في الحكومة، but their voice is not still, you know. يعني في حاجة كده، عشان كده الرجل الجنوبي لازم يغير نظرته ذاته في المرأة الجنوبية، لأنه في فير كده إنه لو نحن هسه اديناهم راي ومن هيعملوا كده. ده حاجة في you know حتى في البيت، يعني حتى مثلا هنا في ويس هنا في فير، الراجل بيخاف you know. ما بدي مرة opportunity إنه يمشي يعني يتعلم explore everything, you know. في limit، we are limited. and برضو
لكن في أمريكا ما في تغيير، ما زول ما بيقدر يغير زول.
but we don't have information.
هذا كويس.
There is lack of information, by the way. We will not be given that opportunity عشان نلقى information, and we don't know our rights. That's another problem. We just came here suddenly and we are just focusing and إحنا دايرين نطلع من الغيوط، وده بيخلينا ما نقدر نجمع الحقوق بتاعنا. نحن ما عارفين exactly، يعني معظم women حتى في South Sudan we don't know our rights. That's a problem, and that will limit us إنه نحن contribute fully في development بتاع South Sudan. لكن شنو نحن women الحسا ده نحن اللي عندنا إيال، نحن لازم change the way we were raised. We have to give that confidence to our girls عشان بكرة هم يقدروا contribute fully، يعني رأي بتاعهم يكون واضح، وبرضه لو في مشكلة في country هم برضه رأي بتاعهم يسمعوه، you know. like هسا أنت جبتنا هنا ده I really appreciate that. يعني أنا بتمنى إنه الناس كله يعني معلش the way they know us oh أنينا ناس مشاكل في فيسبوك أنينا ناس you know.
مع فيسبوك ده ممكن نغيره من ما في ناس بيشتموا يكون
أيوة
حاجه بتاعت ريكونسايل ناس بيتكلم فيها في افكار كويس افكار بتصلح
أيوة
البلد
أنا
لانه الناس اللي بيشتموا
capable.
ده لما نشوف ناس قاعدين يتكلموا كلام كويس وكلام تمام كلام
هم اللي بيشين.
هم بيمشوا ولا
أيوة.
يتغيروا يكونوا ناس كويسين.
I
That's what
know.
we want to happen, you know.
Yeah أنينا نسوان بتاع جنوب السودان في ناس الكويسين by the way، لكن البسيط العامل ضجة يا هو بقى هسه معروف إنه أوه أنينا ما عندنا رأي، أنينا ما قاعد نساهموا في الهناية. حتى النسوان ممكن مرة يكون عنده شغل زي بتاعك ده نتكلموا في السياسة you know. نحن لازم ننفول في السياسة، ننفول في education، ننفول نحن برضه support بتاعنا للتعليم بتاع مرة back home. we have to do that. وانينا بنعملوا كيف يعني شو زي ده اللي يجيبونا وانينا نتكلم وبالراحة بعد شوية ناس هيعرفوا يقول اوه نسوان بتاع جنوب السودان ده ترى برضو كده، ترى في نسوان you know. فده أو طريقة لأن احنا بنجيب change. ورجال كمان غيروا الفكرة، يعني الرجال لازم معلش ده كلشر ربوكم كده إنه المرة لازم يعملوا له limit، يعني you guys push her down you know. حتى لو انت وصلت وين still you know still but what we can do جيل
لا
بتاعنا
كده اننا دايرين المرأة تتعلم لان المرأة متعلمة زاد بيساعد المجتمع في حاجات
لكن she's limited by the way yeah she's limited
هسه عندنا في امريكا هنا انت لو مشيت مدرسة الناس اللي درسوني كله في كولج 90% of them are women.
yes that's what we
درسوني في
want.
كولج كله لحد ما يونيفرسيتي انا لقيت 2 بس رجال بس اساتذة لكن البقية ده كله نسوان.
That's what we want in South Sudan.
سايكولوجي وما اعرف
yes.
يعني لما يكون في تعليم للمرأة في المجتمع بيغير المجتمع طريقة
بيغير المجتمع
وبيسهل الحال.
yes
you know?
عشان كده أنينا دايرين more opportunities في البلد ذاته. خلي يدونا أنت تبدأ مع مرتك في بيت أديه confident أديه that confident عشان لما نمشي برا يقدر contribute في society. لكن when you limit her at home even if she's very strong she cannot do anything without you. For men they are the first people يعني هم يا ناس الأول اللي أنت بتبدأ مع مرتك. يعني أرجعوا في مدرسة لو ما متعلمة يرجع مدرسة. education is the key you know. education is the key عشان يقدر يغير مفاهيم الزمان الربونا فيه. طبعا أمهاتنا ما كانوا متعلمين، هي بس على قد حالها إنه ربك إنه تمشي البيت وتطبخ obey your husband. لكن هسه الوضع غير، ناس طلعوا برا هنا والكونتري ذات جنوب السودان بقى country. there are rights for women like 30% ده في نسوان ما عارفين 30% ده شنو؟ ما عارفين. we don't know our right. مثلا for example هنا الراجل الجنوبي ممكن يطرد مرته أمري أرجع بيتكم، لكن المرأة ده عنده حقوق هي ما عارفة مرأة حقوقها شنو. we don't know. المرأة بتشيل بس تمشي براها كده تخلي عيالها. ده داير ناس يطلعوا المعلومات برا إنه النسوان وفاميلي لو لازم يكون في يوري حقوق بتاع النسوان. إنه الراجل ما ممكن you give up the wife like that. The women are struggling. We don't know our rights. So we cannot contribute fully to development of South Sudan when we are not that strong في بيوتنا. اللي كان ما بيبدأ في البيت.
لكن الشاي أنا ما دايرين إنه زي ما أنا قلت قبل أنا ما داير discussion بتاعنا. أنتوا عندكم دور تلعبوها. زي ما الدور أنت بتلعب في البيت ده أنت ممكن قادر تلعب في المجتمع وقادر تلعب في المجتمع بالنصائح. هل مثلا يرضيك إنه وضع إنه الحرب تستمر في البلد؟ إنه الناس تكون جعانة في البلد، إنه يكون في مرض، إنه مرض لما تلدي يعني تلدي كده بس بتموت because of lack of nutrition because of lack of blood. you can raise a voice. زي ما أنا قلت طالما عندكم أصوات هنا قادرين تأثروا في حاجات مثلا في domestic violence حتى back home زي القضية اللي حصل المرة اللي فاتت النسوان raise voice هنا. community were able to
I really appreciate them.
لكن مثلا لما نعمل limit لأنه it's all about us always. when women limit herself انت قاعد في مهد you can raise your voice you can talk انت عندك امكانيات اوكي انت تقول يا اخي انا ما ادري احارب ده لان انت لما تكون نسوان ده ما عندهم رجال القاده في البلد ده كان رئيس ولا كان منو ولا كان وزير الدفاع ديل ولا القاده في الجيش عندهم نسوان ولو مره قال يا اخي الحرب ده كل يوم يالنا يا بمودوا يال فلان بمودوا how does she feel لما جانا السيستر بتاعه يا بيقتلوا ولا ولد فلان يا يقتلوا معقول ما بقدر بساعد من الناحيه ده عشان يتكلم.
أنا ممكن نساعد.
لأنه if we play if a South Sudanese woman play a role of victim always. يقول أنا victim أنا ولدوني بس عشان نعمل بيل راجل
That's the
وعشان
problem.
نعمل أكل ولا عشان ما في حاجة بمشي قدام لأن women
That's
في
a
أمريكا
problem, big
كان
problem.
they were suppressed in America لكن
Yeah.
they fought very hard لأن ما وصلوا
Yeah.
المرة اللي وصلوا اليوم ده. شفت؟
أيوة.
فأنا دائما تقدم رسالة مثلا رسالة تغيير رسالة
Okay.
تغيير مثلا للناس كله. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, أنا رسالتي للناس كله إنه شنو إن إحنا في women في diaspora إن إحنا عندنا رول كبير إن إحنا ممكن نبلاي عشان إحنا نوقف الحاجات الحاصلة ده through the social media زي ما البرنامج ده إحنا نتكلم إنه إحنا نجيب أصواتنا بعدين هنا كويسين عندنا شوية إمكانيات يعني ممكن نريز فند نطلب منظمات صغار الممكن يمشي ودي دواء للنسوان هناك ونحن برضو انت تتكلم مع ناسك يعني زي راجلة جيت هناك tribalism ده is causing a lot of problem and الناس اللي بيموتوا إيالنا كان ده جنا دينكا جنا لوو ولا جنا من ده إيالنا نحن فنحن نسوان ما نسبورت حرب ولا نكونتربيوت في حاجات اللي بيشتروا بيه أسلحة ده ولا شيء what we can do أن إحنا نجمع يدينا نرسلوا دواء لأخواتنا نرسلوا ملابس ليالنا نودوا مدارس نمشي نوعوا نسواننا you know العناية awareness is important مرة في جنوب هناك لسه في village بالذات ما بيعرف أي شيء ما بيعرف ذات جنوب السودان ده الطلع ده فايدة حقه شنو all this we can do it from here أنا أولا وإحنا نبدأ أن إحنا ذاتنا النسوان في social media نوعوا نفسنا إنه في حاجات كده أن إحنا قاعدين نعملها ما بفيد البلد ده نخلوه أن إحنا نركز في حاجات اللي بفيد بلدنا نجمع يدينا together كان إنت من إكواتوريا إنت من على النيل إنت من بحر غزال نحن لازم نكم together ونساعدوا بقدر الإمكان نسوان باك هوم ولا رجال الباك هوم وياهو نحن طبعا معلوماتنا لسه ليميت لكن في حاجات نحن بنقدر نعمله كنسوان فده يا رسالة بتاعي كله إنه tribalism ده نحن نخلوه نحن نسوان ما نسبورت
Yes.
شكرا شديد
شكرا my sister Achai for coming on and adding your perspective. أنا بخليك تمشي. My sister Clara.
Thank you.
I do see my cousin Amel. She's here. And she's at work. This is up to you.
You can
want to give us a chance to go because she has to go back, or we will continue?
No, give her a chance because she's at work.
Because
Amel, remove me.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you out. So Amel, we'll give you an opportunity learning to get a visual.
I know you can tell.
And then we move on. Because I want to be fair here, you know. I don't want to be called that I am using nepotism.
No. I don't want that too.
Okay. Go ahead, Amel.
Well, thank you, my brother Jonko. Your show was really on fire, and I couldn't wait, to come out and contribute a little bit of what I have. Thank you, Clara, too, for giving me a chance. Love you. And a lot of girls, they really spoke. They say a lot of points, which is really make a lot of sense. Your show today is really like 100% a great show just on this topic today. I don't know. I don't want to start. I don't want to bring all the points because some women already say those points. But I'm going to go. If you educate a woman, you educate the whole world, and it's been proved. If you educate a woman, you educate the whole world. ولكل رجل عظيم امرأة عظيمة.
Correct.
ولكل رجل عظيم امرأة عظيمة. So you will never be عظيم. You will never be a great man unless you have a great woman behind you. Which really means
But sometimes you can do it.
No, you cannot do it without a woman. If she's not your wife, it will be your mother. If she's not your mother, it's going to be your sister.
Correct.
Either way, she's going to be. She will have that title of a woman. But we are really strong. Women are really strong, and we do have total mara gubal ihna. And generation of my mother, they are not educated, but whom I feel total mara, itihat al mara. They've been dealing with all these things, itihat al mara, total mara. How a woman could impress herself in society, and how a woman can bring a change within society. I know my mother did that already. And a change starts with your married family. When you change that family that you married to, when you are able to bring those kids up, when you are able to unite all this family together, that is enough. You could bring a change to a community. because it started with you, yourself, your family, your community, and then your country, then your continent. And we are capable to do all these things as women of South Sudan. We are really capable. As women, we are capable to do this thing. And it's not about education. It's not all about education. ليس كل غار متعلم وليس كل متعلم فاهم.
No.
But it's about the wisdom, and it's about the love that we have inside us. Well, women actually they are very kind. Diamond kind. They are very nice. They have all this kind of حاجات الحلوة فيهم كلهم. لكن we do have some women that they are really evil, and we are human beings. We cannot, say we cannot judge them because God said we should not judge. But we could change them. As those good women could change that bad women. So what I want to say, we have a big role. If women of South Sudan, if we all agree for unity, if we all agree for love, if we all accept ourselves as God created us, as human beings, and take the tribalism out of this way, we could change South Sudan in 1 minute. If we all decided that we don't want no child in the street in South Sudan, we can do it. If we decide that we don't want a woman to be left out without a job, we can do it. Because women are a hard worker. Women in this America, they work 2-3 jobs, including me. So I know how hard we could work, and I know how much we could put to to change the community and the society. So we do have the the ability to do that, despite on the cultural and it doesn't affect us, because if you know yourself and you are open-minded, and this is a part of thing that we could bring a change toward that. Adatna, it was created by human beings like us. It's not a law to be passed. It's not something like in the Bible that we have to follow. It's not by God. It's a human being like us. So somebody created that law and imposed it on us. So we could bring that change. We women of South Sudan, we could bring that change, and we could bring the best to South Sudan if we really stop, insulting each other in the Facebook, talking, badly about each other, looking at each other like we are really totally different. We are not different. We are the same human being. أبناء 9 شهور زي ما بيقولوا أولاد آدم وحواء ما في زول جاي من حتة تاني. كلنا we came from the same mother and father. So we do have a role. Imagine if all the women refuse not to vote. Imagine if all the women refuse not to vote in South Sudan, what's going to happen? But imagine if all women, decided to vote for one person. If we take all the 10 men to add their vote, that person will be a president. So we should know that we women, we are strong and we could bring the change. We should just accept each other. We should work together as, South Sudanese. We should really forgive each other. It's a time for us to forgive each other and to move on, to do the best for ourselves and for our country.
Thank you. Well, big sister, it's always good to have you on the show and contribute. So I'm going to go ahead and give chance to Clara Martin. Clara, the podium is yours. And actually, we are going to call it day off very soon because tomorrow I have to go to work in the morning. So Clara, go ahead.
شكرا كتير brother Jankor.
You can take me off.
Okay, I will.
Sorry, yeah.
Go ahead, Clara.
شكرا كتير Jankor. I'm so happy to be here in this show today. الشو كان حلو شديد، لكن كالعادة كان عنده ضيوف ومزدحمة ما قدرت on time. But it's a great thing that women need إنه نجي في show زي ده all of us عشان نجي نعمل discuss ونشوف نحن المفروض نعمل شنو المفروض ما نعمل شنو، الحاجات المفروض يودينا لقدام. For me أنا ما قاعد نشوف is other people or men of South Sudan اللي هم بيخطونا تحت. For me نحن كنساوين برانا, okay, we don't stand together to be strong to raise our voice, okay. يعني leave even I'm just gonna leave men alone today, just gonna be us as a women. and احنا كنساوين عندنا a lot of things we can do, okay. بنقدر نجيبه شنو نساعده حتى لو ما جبنا السلام, لكن بيساعده في شنو في السلام, إنه بلدنا يكون فيه شنو سلام, لأن المرأة قوية جدا. بالمناسبة المرأة
do a lot of things. Okay, even the small thing now أنا قاعدة أشوفه women accepted and قاعدين يشوفوا is okay women to هنا. يعني هسه في الحكومة بتاع جنوب السودان بيقولوا المرأة عندها 35%. I refuse. I don't know how come the women in South Sudan accept that. We don't need 35%. أنا وراجل ده نكون في شنو؟ مستويين. دايما عندك 100%. I have 100% in land because it's my land as is ده بلد بتاعي. Okay? Period. أنا داير women في South Sudan الحسا حاليا في حكومة يرفضوا الفكرة بتاع 35. لكن because 35 is limiting.
You're right, Sister Clara. But the problem is there are those women who supporting this corrupted system. Like you have for instance, you have like Nyakumba there, you know, and they do not care what نصيحة بتاعك شنو لهم, you know.
النصيحة نحن النساوين especially the one are in diaspora نحن عندنا قوة بالمناسبة, عندنا قوة كبير جامد عشان نغيره في الناس ديل. اوكي الناس النساوين النساء الحسن موجودين في حكومة بتاع جنوب السودان they're not going to do nothing. They are not going to change nothing. If we are women نحن we are waiting for them إنه النساوين في حكومة ديل حيغيروا لنا حاجة, they never going to change nothing because هم ما قاعدين هناك للتغيير, هم قاعدين هناك للبنفيت الشخصي. أي زول منهم في حكومة, أي واحدة منهم في حكومة بتاع جنوب السودان دلوقتي ده زول قاعد لمصلحة الشخصي. اوكي سواء النساوين زي ديل انا ما قاعد اشوف صوتهم كصوت محملين, لكن انا داير كلنا كنساوين بتاع جنوب السودان في دياسبرا انا داير ان احنا نتفقوا. اوكي نتفقوا في حاجه واحد بانه نشاركوا الرجال في اي حاجه بتاع جنوب السودان, في اي حكم نحن دايرينه, في اي تغيير. لكن الحاجه ده هيجي كيف؟ نتوحدوا نحن كنساوين. الوحده ده حتيجي كيف؟ الوحده ده حتيجي لو إيتا أو لو إيتا حسب عملت لنا البرنامج ده المرة اللي فاتت السنة اللي فاتت. I remember brother what he did برضه شنو عمل برنامج بتاع النساوين. if إيتوا الناس اللي بتعملوا برنامج يكون دايما في البرنامج بتاع النساوين تجيبوا النساوين together نجي نتكلم ونناقش مشاكلنا. اوكي ونخلوا الموضوع بتاع نحن حسب we have a lot of time that we waste our time في social media بننبذوا بعض, بنكره الكراهية, be preach. We are as women we preaching haters about ourselves. نحن يعني الحاجة اللي في السوشيال ميديا نحن we are really powerful to do right now كجمرة. اوكي ده مشاكل. we are really power in مشاكل. اوكي المشاكل نحن بنعملها في بعضنا ده لو كلنا حاسة ده شلنا المشاكل لو عملناه اتجاه واحد اللي هو اتجاه حكومة جنوب السودان نحن بنقدر نعمل تغيير. بالمناسبة أنا داير النساوين يخلوا المشاكل اللي بيناتنا, لأن المشاكل اللي بيناتنا ده ما حيودينا أي حتة. والمشاكل اللي بيناتنا ده بالمناسبة اللي انتوا شايفينه في السوشيال ميديا إنه النساوين بينبذوا وشايفينه حاجة ساكت, ما حاجة ساكت بالمناسبة, لأن women عندهم power. they can do a lot of things that إنه ممكن يحرشوا الرجال عشان الرجال ذات شنو يتفككوا to be honest. فنحن أنا بطالب من أي وحدة من النساوين في السوشيال ميديا إنتوا بتنبذوا في فيسبوك في القبائل وحاجات بليز جايز. حتى لو نبذوك أنا كلارا ده حاسة على لو زول واحدة فيه ما شاء الله نبذت كلارا I'm not going to answer. لو نبذتني الليلة وبكرة وبعد بكرة أيام ما تالت ما هيكون عنده حاجة جديدة. they will repeat themselves. so they will لو نزل نبذك الليلة ونبذك بكره ونبذك خليه الزول you will stop. لو الزول ما قاعد يرد لك you will stop. لكن انت لما تيجي ترد النبايز زين بشنو بتجيب حاجات جديده, بتولد حاجات جديده. فانا دايره حتى لو نبذوك في السوشيال ميديا stop in زي ما خواجه بيقول ابلعوا وحاره في بقى, لكن ابلعوا وتعال بريش about شنو السلام البيس اللي بيناتنا نحن كبيس كنساوين. لأن نحن النساوين بنقدر لو اتحدنا حسنا بنقدر نعمل a lot of things زي مع النساوين زي مع البنات اللي عملوا في الريزنج في فيسبوك وساعدوا الأسرة كان فيها مشاكل في جنوب السودان.
وحلوا قضية ذاته لأنه ببريشر بالضغط بتاع النسوان اللي كان موجوده في دياسبرا، قدروا يضغطوا انه القضيه تتحل، لان القضيه كانت تتحول خلاص، بقى ماشي يحصل بين clans and clans. But they were able to suppress. لما الناس اللي قاعده بتقول no 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 this is going to create problem. Women they have the same power. ممكن يعمل ضغوط جامد جدا جدا للسلطات الموجوده في جنوب السودان عشان البلد يكون فيه وئام ويكون فيه السلام. This is what we are asking because they have power to do so.
I appreciate نساوين دي رغم نبذوهم to be honest. النبايس البنات دي نبذوهم، النساوين دي نبذوهم في الفيسبوك الايامات اللي فاتت. اوكي it hurt me a lot. النساوين دي بيعملوا في خير بالمناسبه. لكن نهايه نبذوهم. لكن انا love some of them did not even answer, did not even stop. They still stand strong وقاعدين يعملوا الشغل شنو ما هو في الشغل بتاعهم هم شنو they still move on وقاعدين يعملوا الشغل بتاعهم. انا دايره المساوين ديل يكونوا مثل يا جماعه، يكونوا مثل لنا نحن، بانه حتى لو نبذوك ما يغير منك حاجه، ما يخليك تستوب اباوت حاجه كويسه اللي شنو اللي انت كنت داير تعمله. بالمناسبه رغم انه الراجل الجنوبي او الرجل السوداني، الرجل الجنوبي زي الراجل الجنوبي عنده حركه. يعني مثلا لما نشوف المراه القويه اوكي، المراه السترونج بيحاول يحطمها بحاجات، انه مثلا تنكن، يعني مثلا بقولوا بضمان ان تنكن ارى اللي بابا دي باراج. شوف يعني لما نشوف المرأة ده يعمل تغيير بيحطموها، يقول المرأة دي كعبة، واحدة ما كويسة، ده تخرب باقي النساوين معاه، وباقي الرجال بيجوا هنا they stop their ladies. ما تمشي مع فلان، do chat وغنغن تنغن cheating people. No, it's not about she cheating people اصلا. It's about because she's strong and she needs change. Okay?
You're right.
She needs a change. لكن الرجال بتاع الجنوبيين عندهم الأدب ده، إنه لا ما في زول عشان المرأة دي دارت تجيب تغيير. زي النساوين اليوم هي المرة فاتت اللي عملوا الفريزنج هنا. We heard about a really bad thing about them, but it's not, they are not bad. هم ما قاعدين يعملوا الحاجات دي أصلا, but they want to destroy them عشان يوطوا شنو راسهم تحت عشان ما يقدروا يرفعوا راسهم فوق. لكن no ألف no. نحن نساوي نحن يعني أغلبية نساوي زي ما كان متعلمات، لكن حسنا نشكر ربنا عندنا كمية كتير من نساوي متعلمات. أنا ما دايرة إنه مثلا بتاعك ده مثلا تطلع من بيتك تشاكل الراجل، اوكي ده ما تعليم. اوكي تعليم انك تجمع اسره together. Start from your house. اوكي اجمع اسرتك together. قاعد راجلك تحت لو فاهم غلط about مرة تاني ما تشجعه، قول له no she's not bad، المرة دي كده والمرة كده. ونحن عندنا ما تقول هي، نحن عندنا دارين نعملوا حاجه اتجاه بلدنا، نحن متفقين كنساوين نجيبوا السلام. اوكي انت يا نسوان ابدو السلام حتى مع الجيران، مع جيرانك من اي قبيله هي في جيرانك ده ابدا السلام منه، ابدا السلام من المرة ده ونمشي لقدام نغير البلد. التغيير ما حيجيبوا اي زول. وانا سبيشال للنسوان بتاعنا بتاع ابياي حسن قاعد نقول للرجال شنو ابياي ده ما في زول حيحرر الا اننا ابياي بالابياي او حتسمعوا وان داي حيحرر منطقه اسمه ابياي ده ما حيكون من راجل. وانا مسؤول من كلامي ده انا قاعد اقوله، وبالذات انا بقوله لجنوب السودان ده ما حيكون رجال حيجيبوا. احنا النساوين لو ما اتفقنا وخلينا القبليه اليومين ده انا شايف ايفن كرهني حاجه اسمه فيسبوك بالمناسبه، لان انا بقيت شفت النساوين اللي انا كنت بشوفهم يعني النساوي they are very strong, they are very strong women, but they are preaching about شنو انفصال. they are preaching انه واحده دي ما كويسه. they are preaching why we are doing that to ourselves. احنا بالمناسبه التدمير اللي قاعدين نعمله ده ما حيستاب from us، هنوديه للجيل اللي بعدينا، هنوديه لعيالنا. هسه في عيال بقى يعرفوا ده دينكا وده جورتشول مثلا وده جوبا وده وين وده شلو. No, we don't want our kids to raise like this. نحن دايرين our kids to know you call it انه نحن كلنا ديات. بالمناسبه انت نحن كنا قاعدين في يوتا سوا when you know that brother Junko لما نحن
13 years
لما نجي في يوتا بالمناسبه we call everybody auntie. We call everyone نساوين اللي لقيناهم قبالنا we call them all aunties. اوكي بالمناسبة عيالنا لحد يوم الليلة دي انا ما في هنا في امريكا بدي ان my auntie اللي بيقوا شنو حاسة like real close people شنو to us. نحن a lot of things لو بدينا زي ده نخلي كلام انه ده من قبيله فلان ده من قبيله فلان ده ما راجل يا حيوقف ده. انت المرأة يا حتوقف الكلام ده. اوكي الراجل عنده شغل ثاني، عندهم شغل ثاني، وانا ما حتكلم في شغل بتاع، لكن نحن فوكسينج ناو انه نحن نعمل شنو. انا والاتحاد ده ما سهل to be honest. It's not easy. It's not easy. ما حيجي الليله ولا حيجي بكره ولا حيجي بعد بكره. It will take a time. حاجه step by step because نحن عندنا كميه من الكراهيه جوانا، عشان تطلع الكراهيه ده جوانا ده it will take time. Let's have patience to each other. نحن to love each other. Let's show our kids إنه نحن ديل أوكي حسن مثلا عندنا حسن نساوين الليلة نحن أنتي عيال بيقولوا بكرة بعد بكرة تتقابلوا تاني ما بيسألوا بعض. العيال بيسألوا why you not greeting my auntie؟ أنت هتقول شنو؟ وحاجة الناس الجيل بيتحير. oh my goodness. بمناسبة عيالي كان شافوا فيديو في فيسبوك. My daughter came to me and said, Mom, I thought this family they was cousin and now they are بينبذوا بعض في Facebook. Why they are doing that? I thought they was family. ده حاجة it hurt me a lot بالمناسبة because ليه ونحن عيالنا حاسة خلوا السوشيال ميديا it's not the heat because of us, because attitude بتاعنا on social media. هسه عيالنا طلعوا من حاجة اسمها السوشيال ميديا، مشوا له سناب شات، مشوا له حتات تاني. Okay, because they are running away from us. They are running away from us. Behavior بتاعنا بيها كعب شديد، بيها كعب. نحن نساوي بجنوب السودان نحن عارفيننا إحنا نساوي متواضعين كان. ومحادنا نحن ومحادنا يعني they are really رغم في أغلبية منهم ما يتعلموا، لكن بالمناسبة ماشيين بعادات وتقاليد، ماشيين بسيستم الأحلم الدولة. So why we doing that to ourselves? عليكم الله يا أخواتي. أنا بقول لكم from now let's call each other. Let's call each other وتعالوا نعملوا conference بتاع النساوين نحلوا فيه مشاكلنا، نعملوا page بتاعنا نجي نحلوا فيه مشاكلنا ده، ويلا بعد كده هنمشي للسودان. لكن لو ما نمشي للجنوب، لو ما بدينا هنا في نصنا هنا ما هنقدر نعمل تغيير في الجنوب.
Thank you. Thank you, Clara. It was good having you, as always, as usual. Thank you so much. And I hope, I believe Mashair Abdullah will come back and then do an opportunity because it is time for me to call a day. It has been كلام كله بيصب على مصلحة الوحدة. إنه the women of South Sudan, they are the backbone. They were the one that helped جيش الشعبي. اللي كانوا بيرفعوا حاجات، اللي كانوا بيأكلوا ناس. الآن دولة طلع ودولة من نساءتهم and they are dying every day. They are dying what they're delivering. Their kids are being killed. So what can you do? This is the question, that what role can you play to bring about the change? Because change is inevitable. Change is so important in order for things to go in a right direction. Okay? So this is the question that طرحناه اليوم, and many of you spoke very well and answered this question. And I think we should continue this conversation. Inshallah, should be continued and more often. So women of South Sudan need to raise a question, and they need to come together and address the bigger problem that our country is facing. So Ukhud Mashair Babikir Abdullah, I hope you are back, because it looked like internet actually has been kicking you out more often. And I'm because I want to be fair for everybody. You have been coming on more and often. انت بتجي لكن network قاعد يطلعك برا. لو انت موجود, please go ahead and send in a request. قبل ما I'm going to close because tomorrow I have to go to work. Actually, in my place here is almost 10 p.m. where I am right now. This is far western United States. It is around, I know, your network is not working. It's keep pushing you out. I try, it's on the screen, but it's not happening. That's why I did not bring you, because they keep pushing it out and out and out and out. So I'm sorry, you would have participated, but unfortunately, it's not happening. So to everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming in and supporting this conversation, and this discussion will be continued. I want to tell women there, do not surrender, do not give up for those bullies. لما زول يشوفك انت قاعد تتعلم وقاعد تعمل حاجه كويس مصلحه للبلد, and you wanted to fix something and you wanted to help, you want to raise money, and then they go after you, they want to bully you, they call you name and all this thing. You know what? They wanted to discourage you. But I don't want you to be discouraged. Continue to do something good. But if you're doing something bad, of course, people are going to notice that what you're doing in bad. Listen, this is what Mother Teresa said. She said, the world is full of good people. If you cannot find one, be that one. And the world is full of bad people too. But do not allow them to drag you to their side. Do not allow them to put you down. And how you can do it? When they go low, you go high, as Michelle Obama said. Keep continuing doing the good thing, and I believe you will succeed. And they will give up. Like in Lamanyama, insults, all the names. They can say anything against you. And you say, oh, I'm not going to talk because if I talk now, if I do this, and then they're going to insult me. Actually, you are giving them an opportunity to say, oh, we are right. Do not do that. Keep your head high and keep an advocacy. We got to make change. And change is so important in our country. So with that, thank you so much, for being part of Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. We will see you next time. Good night for now. All right. I think we're done for the night. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Atong. I know it's early morning, but you waited and watch it till to the end. Thank you.
By Galawi, I will like Galawi. By Galawi, by Manda Galawi. By Galawi, I will like Galawi. By Galawi.
Unfortunately, we are done. I'm not going to be able because I'm trying, but the network that you were coming in did not work. From the beginning, you should have that good network.
By Galawi, I will like Galawi. By Galawi, by Manda Galawi. By Galawi, I will like Galawi. By Galawi, by Manda Galawi. Undi make mako wolbil. Undi lili bolden. Undi nyangamal. Undi temu kanyar. Kumalawiyan. Kukol mo bay. Ogaya keunum yamana majen. Yamana majen. Yamana majen. Yamana majen.